used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I would have seen?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know, the shows on TV.
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows?
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show is called a pilot. Then they show that one show to the people who pick the shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, some don't and become nothing. She started one of the ones that became nothing.
Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television, pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my Barnabas Clayton. It's Captain Phil of Restisher. Good evening, I love you.
Good evening. I love you as well.
Hey, did you hear our guest read that fast because he was so familiar with the song he wanted the chorus to hit just right?
That's right there. That's tight. The guy knows what's going on.
Our guest is tight.
His butthole.
I got a big surprise for this show. You guys already know what it is, but for the listeners out there, we've got a great big announcement coming up. Is there anything that you want to talk about before we get the guest in?
No, I think we should just roll out the red carpet.
Okay, you ready? Sure. Hold on a second. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I'm doing it? Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard him on the Let's Try This podcast. Karaoke Big E, IBWIP, Fakakta Comedy Funhouse. You've heard him on Drunken Lullabies, Ernest Goes to School, and of course the best wrestling podcast ever, Heel vs. Face, which as the music was playing, he was looking at me like, hey, that one, hey, that one. Let's welcome to the show, Chemo Slice.
Thank you, everybody.
Man, the crowd is really there for you today.
What is up? That's my Tim Kalpakis impression.
We're going to get a Kebmo bump on this episode. We'll probably get 13 downloads.
Maybe. We'll see. What is up?
What is it?
It's it.
Hey, welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thanks. I love you.
Love you, buddy.
We love you.
I'm
And
amazed.
I love you, too.
I'm amazed at your transformation since the last time I saw you. You have become Jacob and Jerry Garcia
It's
all together in one thing.
So I recently, this past weekend, traveled to the location of where my office is. I work remotely, but the office is in Tampa, Florida, so it was an exciting trip, as it always is. And I made sure to say in the group chat, the work chat, I said, just an FYI, my physical appearance can be shocking. So I'm just giving you the heads up. Yeah, you see me on the Zoom every once in a while, but I can appear physically to be jarring. You know, just be prepared. And prepared they were.
Yeah.
Is this going to continue through the summer, or is there going to be a summer
Yeah.
time? Really?
Yeah. No, the beard. I don't know how much longer I can take the beard.
Right, yeah, now that's what I'm talking about.
But it's not all or nothing.
difficult.
You can trim it and keep it
I know,
going, or
yeah.
it's all going to go.
Yeah, that's the thing is I can trim it like to be just short to the face, but I'm not good at doing that. Mm-hmm. So I might just shave it off and then just do regular, length beard. But I want to try to get it pretty long. It's the longest I think it's ever been.
Yeah, I've never seen it that long.
Do you think he should just shave his chin right
Well,
there? And
I have a bald spot.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Here.
Oh, jeez.
Chin pattern baldness. Yeah.
Wow,
there
so
it is.
you've really got to get that thing grown around. You kind of have a pullover,
Yeah.
a comb over, but a beard over.
I have a beard over.
Chin over, yeah.
I got a chin over because I hit my head on the. I mean, when you get a scar on your chin, what's the most common injury that happens on?
I have a scar on my chin.
Everybody does.
And I will tell you how. When
Yeah,
I
let's
was
hear it.
very young, I jumped into a pool backwards, and my chin came down and hit the side of the pool.
What I was gonna say is, I think 99% of chin scars are pool-related incidents.
That's what happened.
Mine is from a diving board. The same exact thing.
Yeah, same thing.
That's why I
Yeah.
tore mine down. I was flirting with danger every
Too
year.
many scars. Is that why you can't grow a beard? Your face is so scarred up from your pool.
Just call me Seal. I'm the white version of Seal.
You're the white Edward James almost.
Oh, shout out to his family.
Oh,
I'll tell
big
you that.
shout out. Big
Yeah.
shout out. Hey, I said I was teasing a surprise earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And Blake has been very vocal about his vices on the show. I lean very heavily on Blake to regale,
Entertain you
Well-
with my misery.
No. You're putting a negative spin on it, but to be open and honest and create content with I don't know, the tragedy that is your life. No, just kidding.
That's true.
But
What are those for?
I have no idea. Basically, Blake.
Oh, it's Braille, so I know what flavor it is.
It's Braille. Okay.
Oh.
We had Blake say to us, "Hey, I'm trying not to drink as much because I have a big problem." And we said, "Okay, yeah, we agree." And he said, "I've replaced one negative activity with another, and the new negative activity, what is it, Blake?"
It's ice cream, and it's like
how much ice cream?
consuming large amounts of ice cream. Like I'm looking at this, going, "Oh, isn't this cute?"
Yeah, because
You know?
what is in front of us?
I brought 3 different flavors of ice cream, quality ice creams.
Yeah, okay, that was your beef, is because I was eating like Kroger brand.
Well, not beef. I want you to know your worth, Blake, and say I deserve better than this clear plastic round tub of gallon crud foodstuffs. These are real ingredients.
Could you tell me what it's called?
Yeah.
The brand?
It's Kroger brand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Does it have like a name to it? Or does it just say Kroger on it?
It might say like deluxe something on the top
Okay,
of it
yeah.
or something.
Because I was gonna say, like, when I eat that stuff, I don't think I ever know what the brand is. Because it's just that clear. I don't care.
It's classic children's birthday party ice cream.
Exactly.
Because they know the kids will eat anything.
Or they're going to waste it, and they're just going to leave it, sit in the thing.
Well, what before you put that in your mouth, and I thought we'd eat on the show because people love, as far as I know, people love to hear people eat on podcasts.
Sure.
my favorite Couch Pilots episodes.
What's the brand?
Well,
and what's the flavor?
It's Häagen-Dazs. Häagen-Dazs chocolate peanut butter ice cream. So it's chocolate ice cream with peanut butter chunks in it.
It's fantastic. I've had that before. It is delightful.
It smells good.
It's really good.
Kemo?
Yeah.
What? Hey, Kemo, what you eating?
On the new segment, What You Eatin'? I have Ben and also Jerry's Cherry Garcia. And it's fitting because I'm a big Grateful Dead fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a Grateful Dead fan, or are you a Deadhead? Like, do you mind being called Deadhead?
No, I would go by Deadhead, sure. Okay. I have a shirt that says Deadhead on it.
I didn't know. I didn't know if there was rankings. Like,
No.
you have to.
I think Deadhead would imply that you've seen the band more than once, which I have seen the
Cover band more than one.
Well, the Dead, right?
It's called Dead and Company.
That's right.
They're the latest iteration of the most members of the Grateful Dead band.
That'd be a great cover, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
The Grateful Bed.
the Grateful Bed. I like that. That's
How
actually
how many Great Danes can you fit in a Grateful Bed?
Yeah, probably 2 tree. About 2 tree.
2 tree.
But you were asking, you're like, oh, have you ever had this? Do you like it? I have never once in my life had a bite of Cherry Garcia.
Oh, this is perfect then.
So I'm gonna try it. So let's try this.
Well, let's try it. Very good. When you say I love Star Trek, people are like, oh, you're a Trekkie. But people take offense to that. They say, no, I'm not a Trekkie. I'm a Trekker. That's what I am. So I didn't know if Deadhead was a negative phrase.
No,
when you
no, it's very positive, I feel like.
Hey, Jason, what you eating over there? Brand and flavor.
Hashtag what you eating.
These are pints, right? These are 14 fluid
these are
ounces.
pints, yeah.
Okay.
When you said you were bringing pints, I was like excited, and then
Well, I'm trying to wean you off your liquid death and give you diabetes and or a coronary event.
Right.
I'm eating Häagen-Dazs. This is strawberry ice cream. Now, I'm going to do you one further. I'm going to read the ingredients.
Okay.
Cream, skim milk, strawberries, cane sugar, egg yolks, end of list. 5 things.
Wow.
there's egg yolk in there.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, that's how you make the queen.
Yeah. That's how you
Isn't that how you make the queen?
Is this something your son says? Is that why you keep saying it?
My dad.
Like, is this one of those annoying parent things, like when they call an object whatever their kid calls it?
The bushin', mush the bushin'. Yeah, no, my dad always said that when we were kids
Right.
because I think I probably said that. So even
Cute.
like after we figured out how to say it, he's like, "You want some queen queen?"
It'd be weird if his dad made the phrase and the kids always said it correctly. Like, why are you saying it like
Yeah.
that?
Right.
Queen, queen.
There are a lot of things that my dad says, queen queen being one of them, that my mom cannot stand.
Yeah, I believe it.
He's very much like me. Well, I'm like him, obviously. He came first. But, like, there was a certain time, like, I was in high school, I think, and my dad, during the wintertime, ooh, boy, it's cold out. Cold out. My mom goes, can you say it regular? He's like, no.
No, this is what I do.
This is what I do. Ooh, it's cold.
So you say that now.
I can't imagine a time where I haven't said that.
My dad does the same thing. I'll give you two quick examples. One is, I think I've said on the show before, the romantic song, Talking in Your Sleep.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
know the secrets that you keep
Yeah.
when you're talking. My dad will sing, I know exactly what you eat because you're farting in your sleep. It's a good one, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes if it's too hot outside, my dad will go around saying, it's a hot one, Mr. Grinch. And my brother will say that now. My brother's 31, and he goes around saying that now. So he's passed it on. Right?
This is really good. I've never had it.
What is it's vanilla ice cream with chunks of what? Chocolate?
Chocolate and chunks of cherry, which I'm not like a huge fruit in sweets person. Jelly filled donuts.
Right.
Just really anything with like strawberries on it, like an ice cream or something like that. I do not like fruit in my chocolate to be mixed, or fruit in like my
You don't want fruit in your treat.
in my treat. Yeah, in my desserts.
Yeah.
Generally, but this is very good because the cherry is like, it's like a real cherry. It's not like a maraschino.
You know, those soaked, bastardized cherries.
Yeah. Oh, I love those in my boozes. Though.
We just had his betrothed on a couple episodes
Yeah,
ago.
we did. We did.
And she was saying, I love Dairy Queen, but no one will go with me.
Right.
Do you not go to Dairy Queen with her?
buy it for her all the fucking time. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to go. She just wants it.
Oh, she wants it brought to her.
I get it. I bring it to her every time she asks.
And then you head down the road to Dairy Queen, and all of a sudden, The Calling is on the radio, right?
every fucking time.
What's that name of the song? Is it called something to want? Is the word want in the title?
No, wherever you will go. I
Oh,
think, yeah.
Okay. You ever hear that song, Blake?
Yeah. I like it.
It's on every time Kevin gets in the car. We found out.
Really.
If I could, then I would.
Wherever
you will go.
Can't do it.
Up night, oh down low.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know the song.
The Calling. This is good lip smacking podding.
This is some rich stuff, boy. This is some quality shit,
It is good, right?
That's good.
That's one of my favorites. I'm glad you enjoyed
and I
it.
appreciate that because I was at the grocery store yesterday, first time in 2 years.
Yeah.
3
What?
years. Yeah, I don't ever go to the grocery store. And my wife made the mistake of saying, "Well, why don't we spend some time together? You go with me to the grocery store." So we got there, and every time she picks something up, I go, "No,
We don't want that."
Like that's expensive." But then we got to the ice cream.
Yeah.
We got to the ice cream, and of course, I went straight to what I wanted. There's
Clear tub aisle.
a dinosaur brand. There was dinosaur flavor and then a mermaid flavor, and she said, "No, you're a grown adult."
What does a dinosaur taste like? What does a mermaid
it was
taste like?
blue. Well, it was dinosaur something, and it was blue, but it tasted like chocolate. It had dinosaur sprinkles in it.
What are dinosaurs? Like just dinosaur
Shaped?
sprinkles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It sounds
Not from a real dinosaur.
It sounds fucking awful. What you're describing sounds like
I was-
a sugar nightmare.
It's blue and it tastes like chocolate?
Yeah. And the other the
That's how you get cancer.
The mermaid was the kind of like that greenish blue kind of
Yeah.
under the sea kind of.
Probably tasted like pennies, right?
I don't know. Well, I'm going back and getting it. But the reason why I bring that up is because I saw how much the
Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs.
Right.
Yeah.
How much that costs? So I appreciate you doing this. If you want to take it out of the budget, we can.
I write trivia and host it every once in a while, which is it's coming back. Jason,
God.
by the way.
Yeah, it's coming back. Was it Wednesday nights, you think?
Yeah, I think so. And one of my final questions that I have done a few times is spell Haagen-Dazs.
Now, do they have to put the? What's
Yeah.
that thing called? What's that thing called?
Umlaut. I
Oh, that's
believe.
my favorite Hanson song.
Umlaut over the A.
But one more. Well, you decide how many more. But I have a quick story about Haagen-Dazs real quick.
Okay.
Can you
guys
tell us
just
what you
keep-
think about Hanson real quick?
Yeah, you guys just chow down and listen to this funny story. Good call. I'm gonna be doing that soon. I can't stop myself.
Yeah, we're going to put them in the freezer.
Yeah, that's good.
I thought we'd eat the whole show. We're not doing that, apparently.
I could.
Well, no,
If I could, I would.
that stuff is really rich. It's very good, but I also have a beer, and so I'm trying to.
Oh, if the beer and ice cream, it's good, but it also is bad.
The ending's going to be bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I took anti-diarrheals before I came in here. Don't make me take more. Quick Haagen-Dazs story. I went on a baseball trip with my uncle, my dad, and my brother, where we went east and went to pretty much every baseball stadium up into New York and then back. So like through Ohio and stuff like that. And so we didn't go south to those stadiums, but Eastern Seaboard, pretty much we hit all of them.
Very cool.
When we were in Yankee Stadium, there was this big fat guy who was a vendor, and this was a skinny guy. These two guys were developmentally disabled, let's say.
All right.
I think.
That's how I say it, too.
And one of them's going, this little skinny guy, he's like, hey, how about that Das Hagen? How about that Das Hagen? Mm-hmm. Das Hagen is what he was saying.
Okay.
Das Hagen. He was serving ice cream at the game.
He's reading like he was in a phone book.
Yeah.
I got
How
you.
about that Das Hagen? How about that Das Hagen?
Like Samadana.
This guy comes up to him and he's like, what the hell are you doing? You can't sell that over here. You're gonna get suspended. You can't sell ice cream over here. Mm-hmm. The guy just turns around and goes, it's ice cream. It's ice cream. And the guy's yelling at him. He's like, you're gonna get suspended. And my dad did those two voices. Him and my uncle recreated that argument. I was a sophomore in high school. My dad and my uncle recreated that argument after they had a couple beers at dinner.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever laughed harder.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was like, how about that guy talking? And I can see these guys in
Right,
my mind.
going-
And it was, 20 years ago. God.
That's great.
It was a good time. Yankee Stadium. You're going to get suspended.
You're the only guy I know that has a Haagen-Dazs story.
Yeah, yeah. There's not many people that do. I think.
Did you go to Fenway?
Yep, we went to Fenway. It's awesome.
Every park that you went to, did you go to a game? Or
Yeah,
did
oh,
you
yeah.
just take a tour?
No, we went to a game.
I've been to Fenway, but I went on a tour. I didn't see a game. So I got to sit in the press box.
That's like as good as maybe even better going to the game.
Well, also we got to sit in the Green Monster. Now,
awesome.
like I said, there was no game happening. We just got to go around and sit in the Monster. We got to sit in the section that they keep that was like the original section. Otherwise, if they change that, they lose like their historical status.
And
So it's
there's one red seat there.
I
where
bet they did say. I don't remember
where
that.
Ted Williams hit the longest home run ever in Fenway, and there's a red seat there
Oh shit!
where he hit that ball.
Very cool.
Yeah. Instead of there's green seats all around, but there's one red seat where he just hit a fucking monster shot, and nobody's hit it that far since.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was cool though. That was cool. I'm glad you got to go there too. That's it's a cool say. It's tied for is it the second smallest park? Right? It's one of the smaller ones for sure.
It's got to be. Yeah, because Wrigley's, yeah. They're both in the middle of neighborhoods.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you my ice cream to put away if you would.
Yep. I'm putting away mine.
That's good Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, that's good.
How about that, Doc Hagen?
Karen, go get suspended. Put that away. You get podcast suspended because you're not supposed to eat for more than 5 minutes on a podcast.
That's true.
That's what Joe Rogan says.
Real quick, I want to know anything else exciting happened when you were down in Tampa? Because you did post a picture of yourself wearing white pants on a boat, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
It was a boat party. It was a yacht party, and the upper deck was just like half of it was covered and half of it was the bar. There was like a photo booth, and then the downstairs, open bar. It was awesome. I was the only one drinking Maker's Mark, and I made sure of it because I was like, I don't want to drink this whole bottle. So is anybody else drinking it? Because I don't want to drink it, and then they won't have any left. And he's like, oh, you're the only guy doing it. It turns out I drank most of the bottle.
Hey, open bar.
Yeah,
Some
like,
good
hey,
shit
whatever.
like that. Go for it.
And the downstairs had blackjack and roulette. and they gave us 500 fake dollars. And then we had chips, and it was just
cool.
like fake gambling.
So no one would cash out at the end. It was just kind of a fun thing.
It was just fun. It was
That's awesome.
So fun. Everybody just had chips. And at the end of the party, I work with a rapper named Psych Montano. Check out his new album, Psych 222. I was like, there's this DJ on the boat who was just like an older guy. And then there was this young guy who came in after, I don't know where he was. He might have been bartending or something, but he took over for the guy like when we were kind of almost all the way back, and he just kind of started turning up. I think that's their game plan. Like, all right, let's just get him dancing by the end here. And I go, hey, my buddy here, he's a rapper. You got to play one of his songs. He's got to rap. And he's like, oh, I'm a rapper too. And I was like, you don't know this guy? He's like, no, I don't know. I get him over there. I'm like, okay.
And your friend, Psych Montano, is from the Tampa area?
He's from New York, actually.
Okay, but does he currently live in Tampa? Okay.
Yeah, he's been in Tampa for like 2 years, I think. So he's making a name for himself in the rap scene in Tampa. I was like, hey, you got to tell this guy which song you can do. And I'm like, do you have Spotify? He's like, yeah, that's Spotify. So he took the mic, and everybody on the ship was absolutely rocking. I was so happy.
Awesome.
And he was like, no, I don't want to do it. No, I'm like, Mike, come on. His name's Mike in real life. It's Psych Montano. But he loved it. And afterwards, he was like, thank you so much for making me do that. I wouldn't have done it. And
That's
I was like,
awesome.
well, yeah,
That's
it was
cool.
cool. Everybody got to see it. Because he'll promote, like, during the morning meetings, whenever he'll be like, hey, on Thursday, I'm playing, like, a pretty big show. If you guys want to come, it's free. That's all. Talk to me if you want some details. And he really does like say like pretty frequently like, yeah. If you guys, I don't know if I should say this, and they're like, yeah, please, tell us what you're doing. And so he always offers up that information, but is kind of humble about it. So I just made him rap in front of the entire company.
And you did one of his songs. So
Yeah.
would he just rap over himself
he
on the
just
thing?
rapped over himself. But
Okay.
he was screaming through it. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and some guy who he's like buddies with also works there. He got him hired, and he was like up there being the hype man. It was fucking cool.
That's cool.
It was very cool.
That's not party on a fucking yacht, man.
I couldn't believe it, man.
That's pretty awesome.
Well,
It's like the owners, or did they have did they rent it out?
it was like a rental situation. There were bartenders.
Yeah, there's a lot of Russians that are just renting those yachts out like crazy right now.
They are.
You got ice cream
Brewskis.
in your beard, by the way.
I'm saving it for later.
Okay, I just want to make
It's
sure
on the bottom.
it's on the side.
Flavor
Oh, yeah.
saver, right? Flavor saver?
You
Yeah.
got most of it, I think.
Yeah.
Blake, you used to do a lot of interviews, roots country music, and that sort of scene. Did you ever get on stage and sing or rock out with some of those bands?
I got on stage with the Calamity Cubes when they played in Pekin, and I introduced them at Moonrunners, the first Moonrunners. I got on stage and introduced them at the first Moonrunners.
That was up in Chicago, right?
Yeah, and then here I was up on stage with them throwing out IBWIP T-shirts and kind of hyping it and everything.
He made me pay for one of those before I was on the show, and he's throwing them out at a fucking bar.
And
I still have it.
And then I got up on stage right as their set was beginning at
High note?
Muddy Roots and
Okay.
proposed to Molly. So,
Oh yeah, it was on stage.
Yeah,
I've
but
seen the picture.
I've never got up and sang with anybody.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if you
Yeah.
ever rocked out like that. And
No.
What about Shawn Mendes? Did you ever go up there and sing "In My Blood" with him
No,
on
he
stage?
he doesn't allow me at his shows since that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I was like, didn't he kill his dad? Him and his brother kill his dad?
Yeah, what is that?
That's the Menendez.
Menendez. Well, that's what Big E says when he says Shawn Mendes. He says Shawn Menendez because he doesn't know how to read. It's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Kevin? Because I have
Yeah.
one last one. But
No, go ahead.
do you have
Yeah.
anything?
No, you're good.
What do you think about that new show we're doing with Dustin, the Radio Rewind?
I like doing it. I like talking to you guys, and I
Yeah.
like hanging out with you guys. My stance on the reason for it and the how it's a competition for some reason, the same as yours. Like, who cares? But I mean, we're doing it,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Are you just saying that to get in my
No,
good favor?
no,
I know you're
I-
always trying to get in my good
yeah,
favor.
no, I mean, any sane person, Dustin even probably is like, why are we doing this? But he won't
Yeah.
admit it.
Yeah, you won't admit it.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I was like, why are we doing this? Like, I'm having a fun time doing it, but like,
Yeah.
there's no one's asking for it to be done.
Yeah, what's the end game? Like, is there a
Yeah.
is there a reason for putting the songs in? I don't know.
Recently, I told him I don't understand how it works, and I don't want to know.
Yeah,
and,
correct.
and he tried to explain it to me. I said, "Stop! I'm not going to listen to
Yeah.
you."
Right.
Yeah. We're in a new cycle.
Sure.
Yeah, you know how it goes when you're
We're
in a
in
new
a new
cycle, right?
Yeah.
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 Anyway, that's all I had for Kevin.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I can't.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
What's up?
Hold on.
You got more ice cream
No,
coming
I
at you?
actually have an important.
You have a phone call during the
Yeah,
show?
just keep going.
It's the guy
Just
from the
keep
yacht.
going keep
Yeah.
going. No, keep going with your.
Oh.
It'll be. I think it'll be quick.
Kevin didn't pay his maker's
It's
mark.
my dad.
bill.
It's my dad.
Okay, go.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, Blake. And maybe I do know about you, actually, because I see you do it all the time. I put my phone on silent.
Oh yeah, my phone's always on silent.
But you're doing stuff over there sometimes, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's on silent.
Okay, as long as it's on silent. And it'll take you out of the show, but you never leave the recording area.
No,
So,
nothing is that important.
I got to tip my hat to you. On that
Thanks.
one.
It's when it comes
Oh my.
John, what do you want?
I've been sitting here. You guys do this every fucking week. Yeah, I sit there and I'm waving a cones. I'm saying, "Come on, let's get going. Let's get going." And you talk to these. I saw he was Kevmo's like he's on the phone. I know that guy.
We're in the banter section,
Yes,
John.
he's a good kid. His wife was on the other. You guys, you talk too long in the beginning part. Let's get going. I'm not going to sit here and just sit on my ass all day. I'm waving these fucking cones. I need to. You guys need to get going.
John, why don't you just wait to start waving them till later on? I mean, when we first get on the plane, you don't have to start waving them.
I would tucker myself out almost instantly.
We've got a checklist. We got gadgets.
I am not air traffic control. Okay,
That's true.
They dictate when people need to go. You say, "Hey, we're going to be ready to go this time," and then you sit and then you're talking for 15 fucking minutes.
Is that a problem with the show, you think, that we talk too much up front?
It's not a problem with the show. It's a problem with airline traffic. You're not understanding. Okay.
We've had these kind of conversations
Yeah.
with DSJ before, but never on mic
I know,
like this.
it-
This is big fucking DSJ balls here, man.
I can't believe you walked up the plane stairs, pushed Kevin out of the way as he was going to make a private phone call, and just jumped in the cockpit like this. If it's so important that we leave at a certain time, why are you delaying it more?
I have a very important job here, guys.
I mean,
I wave the cones. Okay.
Be a tax break.
Who else is going to do that? Okay.
there's actually
What I'm telling you is, this is an ultimatum.
Oh, I don't take easily to that, but
You guys either do it the right way or I'm done. I'm done.
What are you gonna do?
Quit.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to quit.
and do what?
Well, of course, I'm gonna be a roadie still. I mean,
Well, yeah, but they don't tour all year long.
Forget the let out?
yeah, get the let out.
Hey, can you, John, can you take your headphones off for just a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Blake,
Huh.
you know, when ultimatums come up,
I slice them.
I fold easy.
Okay, I won't fold.
Okay, but you said that you don't take kindly to ultimatums. Like
Right.
I feel like you're the kind of guy who that's when you get cranked up to 10 when you're backed into a corner like that. I crumble though.
Okay, well, I won't crumble.
Okay.
I'll stick in. Yeah.
You gonna try to stick it to John?
Oh, hey, what's up, Kemo? Hey, yeah, that was my dad. Sorry about that. Are you? Hold on. Sorry, it's my uncle.
Can you put your phone on silent, Kevin?
It's on silent, but it's important.
Well, then can you take it off silent?
No, it's actually important. It's actually important. I'll be right back.
All right, John, put your headphones back on.
Okay. Yeah. What's up?
You know we get a tax break for you being here because of your Down syndrome, right?
Right. It's like a church gets tax break. You know, it's kind of like that.
We're technically we
Now-
don't pay taxes because we're technically a religion and a church here.
Now here's the thing.
All right.
Told you multiple times. I do not have Down syndrome, but I am very much in support of sticking it to the man and getting those tax breaks where you can.
Okay.
So, I mean, if I got to downs it up a little bit more than what I apparently have been doing to you guys only,
We can hear
The
the
wife
lisp.
and
We
kids.
know we know you have Down syndrome.
I mean,
it's a lateral lisp. Okay?
Whatever
and
you
see,
want.
you have me at lateral, but not at lisp.
Ultimato, tomato, whatever.
Well, I guess I was unaware of the tax break situation.
Right. That's
So-
that's how you got the raises because Trump started giving us bigger tax break.
Yeah, we're Trump supporters now because of that. We like the way he runs the government.
He's not a bad guy.
Hey, he likes McDonald's. How bad can you be?
You know what my favorite sandwich is at McDonald's? You got to go Fish Delight, right?
Daily double.
Isn't that what he would say? Is that what it's called? It's called like the fish fillet.
Fish fillet.
But Trump calls them the Fish Delight.
I don't know.
I actually really do like them. I eat what Trump eats.
Okay, DSJ. So
Yes.
what? Give
I'm
us,
okay with you calling me that now that I'm aware of
We
this
were never not
situation.
going to not call you that.
I understand that, but I'm okay with it just to let you know.
Great.
I know
So
that you don't care.
What are a couple suggestions that you have to where we can get going in the time? You're saying that somebody else is in your headphones telling you when it's time for us to go? Is that
Constantly.
really?
Absolutely.
I thought you were.
Why
Just
do you
listening
think I just?
I thought you were listening to music.
I'm waving them all fucking. You guys are just sitting there like, oh, here he is, waving the cones. That means something. It means go.
We have to do the
Obviously.
boarding part of the show first.
Correct.
Actually, let's get into the boarding part of the show.
Oh my God, we're just in there.
Yeah, we're
Holy
just now
shit.
getting into it.
Holy shit.
That's why I'm saying you just go out there too early.
I don't decide these things.
Well, what if you sit here with us for a little bit and you get to see what we're doing?
I got no problem doing that.
And
You
why
guys-
we know that you're a listener, but maybe if you're actually here,
You guys help me out, and I didn't know about the whole tax break.
And you help
situation.
us out too, DSJ.
Hey,
I
Well,
mean,
thank you. I try to do the best that I can.
you've been really helping give me a lot of
you guys have been working on that swim up tiki bar together.
Swim Up Tiki Bar.
So he's doing a lot of digging, and,
And we got you that case of 1995 Corvette calendars, right?
Yeah.
so it's not like you do everything and we don't give back.
Yes. I lost my temper. I just.
All right, no, that's cool.
It's been a few, weeks in a row that this has happened.
We
and
have an
I-
open cockpit policy. You know, you can come and
Just
talk to us.
not
whenever
while
you
we're
want.
flying, though.
Not while we're flying. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
We gotta
policy.
hire an air marshal. You know
Good
that?
policy.
You,
Big E or
is
Air
Bit-
Marshal?
well, he's our security. Does he? That
No, he's the security. Like once we get onto the plane.
Like TSA.
should we?
Yeah, he's like the TSA of.
Can he double dip though and become our air marshal, or should we go another route with that?
Well, I think if everybody sees him on the flight, they're going to know it. He's. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's
He
the guy.
sticks, he sticks out like a
there's-
very, very, very large thumb.
Well, I'm just saying, like, oh, there's the guy in the security guard. And now he's in here. I'm sure he's not just flying somewhere, right? He's, they're going to be like, he must be security here, so we better not start nothing.
You should get Christopher Big Black Boykin from that show Robin Big.
I was thinking of.
I will.
Did he unfortunately pass? Actually.
No, but he did recently unfriend me on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, because I told him I ate nothing but fish delights.
That's too bad.
What's the guy's name? The old guy that is in all the movies?
David Prowse.
No.
He was. He played
Mickey Rooney.
Darth Vader.
No, the one that.
Don Rickles.
Oh yeah, it's Don Rickles.
No,
What about Don Rickles?
He was the one that. He was the Texas Ranger that took care of the cheerleaders.
Chunk Norris.
No.
Took care of the cheerleaders.
Yeah, that
do you mean
movie.
took
Oh,
care
I
of
know
him?
he's talking about Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. That's who we
That's
should.
a really bizarre reference for Tommy Lee Jones.
Well, I think he was an air marshal once.
He was in Men in Black.
he was in
Oh.
He was in U.S. Marshals.
Maybe that's what it was.
He was in No Country for Old Men. He was the old man.
He's huge in Japan.
Oh yeah, he sells Boss coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
He's one of the most recognizable faces in Japan.
Him and
I
Steven
should know.
Seagal.
I had my former wife was Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
I can't remember her name, but I know she's dead.
Fukmi.
Oh,
Yep.
that's all right. Hey, fuck you, buddy. Oh, no, that's what her name.
How's love life going nowadays? I mean,
Hey man, he's going.
okay.
I got him going steady with a gal.
Are there apps for people like you?
Yeah, same ones you use.
You know what? Well, not the same
Well,
one I use.
I mean,
Yeah,
Let me. Have you heard this? Have you heard this one?
Down Cinder.
On Cinder. See, I don't use that one, but I strongly suspect I could clean up on it though. What I will say though is that I don't know if you guys hear about this for real. There is a Brazilian lady who has Down syndrome who is now a model for Victoria's Secret. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw this. You seen this? You heard about this?
Is this? Where do you guys stand on that? Like, she's kind of got a rockin' bod for a.
Here's the thing. It's okay. Victoria's Secret. They say,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey, we're so good. We got a Down syndrome person." No, you're not so good. You can't just get the hottest one and say, "Oh, we love Down." No, you got to get a middle of the road Down syndrome person.
But do they have middle of the road ladies though? Be their models?
But that's the thing. You can't say we're representing this whole thing when it's just the hottest one.
Yeah, but you are saying this lady with Down syndrome is hot.
She's the hottest one.
What, like, okay, on a scale of on like a regular person, I don't know if that's bad to say or not.
Typical.
Um,
That's the term
a
that
normie.
Yeah.
that's the term
'Cause
that you guys prefer.
What? Where does she land on
people.
the 1 to 10 scale? I would argue pretty high. Have you seen this girl?
She's probably like an 8 or 9, right?
She's kind of an 8 or 9 for a lady with Down syndrome.
Really?
During the break, you'll see this, and you can add it to the modifiers thing where you jacked off. Oh, we've got to ask Kevin that when he was here.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were talking to his wife about the porn parody of the pilot.
He's right outside. He's right outside.
I'm sure he'll be in a minute,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
when he's gone, when he comes back, you'll be gone for some reason, and then we'll ask him then.
Well, I gotta fucking still do my job and do the cones.
Well, today we discussed the pilot episode of Dark Shadows from the year of our Lord 2000 plus 5. That was a great year.
2005 year.
Because last year I wasn't a dad.
Was it not in 2004?
No, it was 2005.
I think it was released in 5, but made in 4. There's a lot of information out there.
Well, I've seen this.
You've seen Dark Shadows?
Yeah, the pilot.
The attempted reboot of the series?
Yeah, the attempted reboot of the series, and then subsequently it was made into a movie with Johnny Depp in 2012.
That's true. Wow, that's good. We had Kevin on, and Kevin had seen it because that's the only thing we ask of our guests is that you watch the pilot.
Yeah, I've listened to the show. I understand, but I've seen this.
But you've seen it too?
Yeah, I saw it.
All right, well, great.
So at the end of the show, we do a rating. Maybe we should.
Because I'm gonna be I'm gonna be on the ground.
Just me to walkie-talkie you, maybe, or
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, we don't want
Nextel?
it now.
Yeah,
Nextel?
well, you still have your Nextel that's in
Yeah.
there. Okay, just smash the box and open it up, and there's your Nextel,
Yeah.
Guys, I got to
in
tell you,
case of emergency.
I'm real excited for the Swim Up Tiki Bar that you guys are
Oh,
working
it's
on.
almost
I'm
done.
excited. What do you take? 85% done?
Yeah, I mean, we're waiting on the stock of tiki stuff, like the bamboo,
And it's
Right.
just
and then
stones.
and then the new cups, the ones that are shaped like little
tiki gods?
like
yeah.
Easter Island guys.
Yeah.
I have one at home that I got recently. I'm going
Okay.
to bring it in, and I'm the only guy that's going to
Sure.
use it, though.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's just
Put-
for me.
Put a nameplate on
Yeah.
it.
Kind of like you and your weird spoon for the ice cream.
It's not weird.
Tell everyone about your ice cream spoon.
Well, I've been eating a lot of ice cream, and something that's been going on for a long time is I have been borrowing soup spoons from restaurants because I don't like to eat using a regular spoon.
What do you mean borrowing?
When I see a soup spoon at my table, I take it.
Oh, you steal it.
Yeah.
So you're like that guy on Home Alone, that uncle, right, on the plane who like steals all the silver from the.
Post Malone?
You're like that guy from that movie Post Malone with Kevin McAllister. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You steal from restaurants.
You know, I do that because my grandma used to do that. She used to steal
Shame.
sugar packets and salt and pepper shakers. But anyway,
My grandma would take ornate cups.
I feel like if you took salt and pepper shakers, you just do it once. But she did it enough for you to say there was a habit for her.
yeah.
What was she doing with all these fucking salt and pepper shakers?
Well, she was from the Depression. Like when she passed away, she had 36 things of that carpet cleaner powder stuff. She had 36 cans of that.
the kind that you like put on the carpet and then vacuum it
Yeah,
up?
and she had an efficiency apartment, and she still had that many.
Okay, so she had
Butter,
some sort of mental.
Butter? No, she was.
It's yeah. You something happens to you where like mentally you're like, oh, I gotta have 36 of these bottles.
Yeah,
that is a mental thing
yeah.
that happens to people.
Yeah.
It's not a knock on. Is it Virginia?
No, it was Betty.
Oh well, then yes, it is a knock on Betty. I'm a Virginia guy. Betty, she can go sit on a tack. All right.
Once you go tack, you never go back. So I have to have a soup spoon. So I was looking through, and I found 2 spoons that were okay for you guys, but then I couldn't find another soup spoon because I think my wife throws them away because she doesn't like them. So I think every once in a while she throws one away because I have less than inventory than I should. And so
you've made a habit of stealing from restaurants.
Just buy a set of soup spoons.
Just go buy.
No, because there's a certain.
I have very nice soup spoons, and they cost me probably $2 for 10 of them. And I've had them for years, and they are awesome. And I completely understand where you're coming from. I don't like using regular spoons. I like using soup spoons, especially for soup and chowder.
If a guy like DSJ can afford some
That's
soup
true.
spoons, I mean, surely you can.
I make a good living. You are. I have the family fortune too. You guys know that.
From the Malnati's, Lou Malnati's people. Was Lou your dad or your grandfather?
It's my grandfather.
Okay, and
But
he-
my dad is also Lou.
Oh, but why aren't you?
Well, and then my brother's Lou.
Oh, older brother Lou.
But
Well, he's my younger brother.
when they found out they had extra chromosome, they didn't want to name you Lou.
I don't know. I think they just said, we're going to save the name for the next kid.
Because there's definitely going to be one that's not broken.
And, of course, my son is John.
Okay, so you're starting a new legacy.
Well, you guys call him DSJJR.
Yeah, DSJ. Yeah. DSJJR. We haven't brought him up in a while.
Yeah.
He's got to be like 15, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty close.
He's 6, I think.
We've been doing this is the 10th episode of season 33. So this is like we're almost 34 years we've been doing this. So I can
Every season is a year long.
yeah.
He's 6.
He's sick.
He's
There you
6,
go.
huh?
Yeah.
What's he up to? What's he into right now?
Oh yeah, what's he into?
Pokemon.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Charizard.
We should bring him in the cockpit sometime, and when we fly, he can probably just poke him out of the sky on the app. You can find the Pokemon app.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
We should Pokemon go to the polls. Am I right, guys?
I thought when that hashtag, people were saying hashtag Pokemon Go a bunch. I thought they were just saying Poke Mongo, and I was like, please don't do that. He's a very big guy. He's going to get upset.
Mongo McMichael, the old wrestler.
Or Mongo, the fucking guy from Blazing Saddles.
Oh geez.
Punched the horse and knocked him out.
don't want to make him mad.
Oh boy.
Mongo!
Hey guys, let's go back to 2005.
In our minds.
And to do so, we'll talk about some things that happened that year so we can get in the proper mind frame of this Dark Shadows reboot. Because to do it any other way, it'd be uncivilized.
It was uncivilized. I mean, you cannot look at this pilot from 2005 and judge it on today's standards. We're in 2022. Beijing had the Olympics, right?
Twice.
And we didn't have the.
They had a summer and a winter.
Yeah,
That's right.
they didn't have the Rockettes in 2005.
Remember how high they could kick?
Oh,
Bring out
they
the
almost,
girls, huh?
they almost kicked themselves in the face.
Bring out those girls.
I know in 2005 we definitely didn't have the Simpsons. I mean, they weren't even around.
No.
And we didn't have Band-Aids, or I'm sure we didn't have the Hagen's Dazs ice cream in 2005. So
Times they are changing.
times are changing, so you can't.
Also, we didn't have Courtney Cox Arquette.
Oh yeah, we did not. That's good.
We just had Courtney Cox, but the Arquette was not there yet.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Remember when she danced in that Springsteen video?
Yeah.
Was sung by Eric Church.
Yeah. The very same.
Springsteen. You know that song? Apparently it just missed the charts 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember it coming up.
Yeah.
That's about it. She was also on Family Ties.
Yeah.
That's how old Courtney Cox is.
She old gal.
I saw her in the new Scream movie. I took my daughter to see this new Scream movie because she got into him about a year and a half ago. And I was like, this is the first time that my daughter is a appropriate enough age, and we can go see a movie that I saw, the original one, in the theaters back in the mid-'90s. And I can go with my daughter now. We go there, and Courtney Cox, she has since dropped the Arquette because she's divorced.
They're divorced.
She's in the movie, and she hugs Nev Campbell's character, and it gets a real close up, like on her arms and her hand.
Wrinkly.
Oh, looks like a goddamn red skeleton.
Ugh.
Remember that act? Remember that
Yeah.
comedian, Red Skeleton?
Yeah.
You look like California raisins.
She did. It was, I mean, like by all accounts, she's a beautiful lady, but Father Time will catch all of us, right?
Right.
Not you though. Not you in that hair.
Thanks.
That hair is steadfast.
Yeah, it's looking good. I got a cut from the last time we talked, and my beautician said things are going real well. No need to open.
She needs to tell you that? Hey, things are going real well.
She knows.
Well, she can see the back.
She
I can't see the back, so
she read your scalp. Things are going well.
She read the lifeline on your scalp.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Well, she says that, and then she puts her boobs in my face.
Oh yeah.
So
God, I love a nice boob face.
I love a beautician. I remember that Fran Drescher movie, Beautician and the Beast. I like Beautician with the boobs.
yeah, I dated a girl that was a beautician, and she didn't have boobs, and she had a steel rod in her back.
Oh, that lady.
Man, she had a beautiful red lips. She was a beautiful girl, but
Que sera, sera, am I right?
could not handle
Could not hold on to it.
the limitations of a steel rod.
There's as far
Not
as
for my creativity base.
There's 3 positions when you have a rod in your back, and that's it.
That's pretty much.
Blake likes to run the spectrum of the intercourse positions.
And I'm sure I could have been creative if I would have had like one of those, like
Like a magnet, like a strong earth magnet?
no, like one of those pie slice.
Strong earth magnet? You're trying to say a rare?
No, I thought...
All
strong earth
I think you're right.
all of them are strong.
I thought there was an earth magnet. Maybe it is a rare magnet.
No, they're earth magnets.
Oh, DSJ was telling me it's a rare magnet.
It's a rare earth magnet.
Rare earth. Oh, it's a rare earth.
Like the band. Bam, 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 bam. Get ready, because here I come.
Did you ever do any roadie work for them?
Yeah, Rare Earth. Yeah, they were huge.
What was that hit they had? Sing it again?
They were huge.
Okay.
Huge.
I want to get a fish delight sandwich after this.
Okay.
The buns are like a little... It's almost like they steam it. It's a little chewy. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some things that happened in 2005. April 2nd, because of course it's April now. April 4th is today's
Yep.
Pope John Paul II dies. Over 4 million people travel to the Vatican to mourn him. Pope Benedict XVI succeeds him on April 19th, becoming the 265th Pope.
Isn't this I think I remember this. Is this like they wait for the color of the smoke
Yeah,
or something?
smoke comes black out of the chimney at the Vatican.
Would they put his dead body in there to make it black? Or what, is there something they put?
Yeah,
in
they
there?
burn the Pope.
I think they paint it black, and then they make it black, right?
The Pope is dead.
There's got to be a better way.
They strike him. They strike the Pope on the head with a hammer 3 times and say their birth name after they die.
Really?
Is that real?
That's real.
So
They don't bash his head in, but they have a ceremonial like hammer, like a special hammer,
Like a Stanley?
and they go like ding ding ding. Carol. His birth name was Carol. He's a Polish guy.
trans
Like
Pope.
like Karol. A very very Polish. Carl is how they Americanized it, but it's Carol.
Sure.
They ding 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 on his head. Carol. After he died. After he
Wow.
kicked the bucket.
Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Nobody should know that.
So
It's my Italian family. They're all Catholic.
So Pope John Paul II dies. I assume they wrap him in some sort of
Sarcophagus.
they wrap him in a sarcophagus. They take him somewhere. Who's the guy who gets to hit him in the head? Is it a cardinal?
It's got to be a cardinal, archbishop, something like that.
Mark McGuire, probably.
Yeah, Mark. That was good.
Oh, Kathy.
I was going to say Jack.
Oh, Carol! Oh, Carol!
I was going to say Andy Van Slyke, but I didn't think as many people would get the reference.
Can you imagine bringing in a St. Louis Cardinal to come in and hit a dead body with a hammer? Is that in the Bible somewhere? There's like, you got to hit the guy in the head.
None of this shit is in the Bible. It's all in this thing called the Triple C, the Catechism of the Catholic Church.
And who wrote that?
A ton of people.
And they're like, a good idea in here
Just to
would be
make
hit
sure,
a
just to make sure this guy is dead.
It might not even be in the Catechism, but
Yeah.
it's in like papal tradition.
Papal
laws.
magazine.
Papal.
It's in Papal magazine?
Papal.
I was more of a Time Life magazine.
Papal.
They made you like,
Hey, what's the Pope's favorite kitchen item to eat food off of?
I would say like probably a fork or a spork.
Papal plates.
Not bad.
Oh, good job, DSJ.
Thank you.
DSJ really he's got a lot of knowledge in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
We just think you just stay out there waving and just, we think you're singing.
Speaking of which, I got to get out of there, but what else
Okay.
you got for stuff that happened? I'm
Honestly-
kind of intrigued.
Honestly, next half hour I could talk about the papal traditions with hammers and stuff, but I will move on.
Yeah, because
Doubt it.
supposedly there's going to, what you're saying is there's probably a bunch of planes behind us waiting to go.
They've been there.
Oh, jeez.
April 23rd, the first ever YouTube video is uploaded titled, anyone know?
Something about the zoo. Yeah, there's a guy at a zoo with a camel.
Me at
Me
the zoo.
Yeah, me
Wow.
at the zoo.
It's the first one. I think the first YouTube video, I remember when I first saw YouTube. I was at my buddy's apartment, and they were showing me the Saturday Night Live digital short with the Lonely Island guys.
Andy Samberg.
The island, right? And
Yeah.
it was the one where they were the young Chuck Norris. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
That was the first. I think that was maybe one of the first digital shorts I saw, and I didn't know any of the cast members at that time. It was right before I started getting really back into SNL, and it cracked me up. It was great.
Yeah.
The young Chuck Norris.
Lazy Sunday was
That was huge for them, obviously. Yeah.
that was a huge YouTube.
But young Chuck Norris was great.
Huh, I'll have to check that out. I don't think I've ever seen it.
And you guys post YouTube videos, right? John, you got your own channel, don't you?
Yeah, I got my own channel.
What was that about? I almost started lisping like him. Like he's sucking me into how he speaks. I'm like, you got your own channel, right?
It's a roadie life.
Oh, okay. Like a day in the life of the roadie.
Yeah, vlogs.
Smart.
Okay, I got you. Cool.
Vlogs like Sammy Guevara,
Oh, yeah.
the Spanish. What's his name? The Spanish god. Sammy Guevara from AEW. You don't know the Spanish god?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The one that got in trouble for
Oh yeah.
some inappropriate behavior.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
But who doesn't nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look deep enough, everyone's got to see. Except me, I'm clean as a whistle. Thank you. April 30th, Nickelodeon Studios in Florida shuts down permanently.
I was unaware of this.
Was it like an amusement park?
No, like
Or the studios that made all this, like,
it's what
Double
they
Dare
made
and
their-
everything?
Yeah.
yeah, Nickelodeon when it first started, like in the
Mark Summers- Mark
Summers.
Summers,
Started it.
real asshole.
as far as I'm concerned, if anyone asks me, grade A piece of shit.
That's what I've heard. I don't know a lot of stuff, but
This is what happened though. In the early '80s, Nickelodeon was like, let's make a cable channel, and they stole but they got a bunch of stuff from Canada. There was like a Canadian kids channel, and so they took a lot of that. They put that on there. They had some original programming, and for whatever reason, they settled down. I think it was in Orlando, Florida, and they created this huge building.
Yeah, Universal Studios.
Right down there,
Yeah.
and they had this really like all these studios. And you could come in and take tours, and you could watch like their game shows and shit. Like it was Nickelodeon Central, predominantly through the '90s, and then somewhere along the way, it just didn't make sense for them to have it anymore, and now it's gone. I don't even know what happened to the building, but like what a mecca for '90s kids to make that
Right.
that pilgrimage there.
I
But
went
it's
there.
gone.
I
You know
went
what?
You went there.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I was on Double Dare.
John,
What?
you're on Double Dare.
I was on Double Dare 2000. It was a reboot of Double Dare.
Mark Summers, the host.
No, it was just some guy. It wasn't. I don't know who it was. It was just some guy. It was short lived.
are you sure it wasn't like the Nickelodeon Special Olympics?
Oh yeah, good question.
You know what? You're right. It was the Nickelodeon Special Olympics.
What were some of the events you competed in?
Chair sit,
Chair sitting.
chair stand.
Do you stand in front of the chair or on the chair?
You get up out of a chair,
Okay.
Get up out of that chair.
and there was a bagel toss.
Bagel toss. Are you trying to like the bagels have a hole? Are you trying to like?
No, it's where you lick each other's assholes.
That's part of the Nickelodeon Special Olympics.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
I really tossed some guy's bagel.
Was it Mark Summers?
It was Mark Summers.
That's how the
Yeah. Tongue punched Mark Summers' fart box.
Was it Kel Mitchell?
R.I.P.
Oh no.
No, he's alive. He's still with us.
it would have been fine if it would have been Britney Spears or Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, sure. Oh, Alanis Morissette. That's right. She was on. You can't do that on television.
Isn't that ironic?
Don't you think? Man, DSJ, you're killing it today. I think
guys-
I could just go home.
Did you guys watch Good Burger? Do you remember that movie? Good Burger.
The two black kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kenan Thompson's like very famous.
Oh, he's on Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
He's been on there like I think like 18 years at this point.
Yeah.
Like no, almost 20. I think it's 19 or 20. Anyway, Good Burger, great film. My daughter when she was young, and when she had her baby teeth, she had a bunch of cavities in her baby teeth. I think someone not on my end like let her go to bed with juice, and so she just had like juice just rotting her teeth
all
all
night.
Poisoned her teeth. Yeah.
Poison. Put poison to her teeth.
We go to the dentist when she was very young, and she I lived with my mom for a little bit when she was very young, and my mom had the VHS cassette of Good Burger, and Lorelai watched it all the time.
Huh.
And we go to the dentist, and she was very scared. She didn't know what was happening. She was like 7 years old, and they're trying to give her some gas. So my daughter's kind of like fucked up, right? And so she starts talking to the doctor there, the dentist, about Good Burger. It's like, have you seen Good Burger? And the dentist, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I say, don't swear at my child.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're a kid dentist, the first thing you should do is not.
It was
It's Neil Patrick Harris.
He's trying to be cool.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that is.
The dentist was trying to be cool by swearing at my 6-year-old daughter. I'm back in 2005.
Me too.
I was 24 then. It was just as a child.
I was 30.
John,
DSJ?
we don't want John's age has kind of been like a mystery, right? Does
I could put the mystery to rest if you want me to.
I don't know. I kind of like not knowing how old John is.
Okay, I was a person.
Okay, he was alive. He can
was-
confirm he was alive.
I was alive. I saw this.
DSJ, do you happen to know why we watch Dark Shadows?
Yeah, it's the same as every time, right?
What's that?
It's the same as every time.
Yeah. There's nothing special about this particular season of Couch Pilots.
There's three simple criteria. One of them is it had to be one episode of it made, and that's it. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. And it had to be online, available to watch, and free 99.
Thank you very much, DSJ.
You're welcome.
That was great, John.
You did a great job.
I have a fucking job.
Okay, you better go do the job.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you very much.
You
B.
still-
I actually probably should go do the job.
do you still whitewash trays at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right. I'm gonna go do the job.
that's fine. We're gonna switch
All right.
segments.
Yeah,
next time you're on, I want to ask you about tuning guitars, but we'll do that at a different time.
Oh, tuna guitars?
Yeah.
I could do that shit all day.
You can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish.
That's
You know
what I
that?
heard.
You can find the entire episode. What are you pointing to this? You may change segments. I gotta read a thing.
No, that was a joke. That was a good joke. I'm fucking out of here.
All right.
See you
Thanks.
guys.
Thanks, buddy. Be careful out there. It's hot.
You can find the entire episode of Dark Shadows by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. Kevin, are you back in here?
Am I back in here? You know what to do to.
What were we going to ask Kevin earlier, but like he wasn't here for it?
I completely forgot. Do you remember?
Was it about like a bread bowl full of chopped up hot dogs?
Red Bull filled up with big chopped up hot dogs. Sorry about that. It's my uncle.
Is he all right?
No.
Oh,
No.
But you don't need to leave though.
Because we're already in the air.
No, I was talking him through it. He was
Oh, he's out.
He's
on
going
the
to
other-
commit suicide?
No, I was talking him through it. He actually got his bagel tossed, and he was just wondering what the
What
next,
to do with all the extra cream and cheese?
Yeah, what the next course of action is.
God,
Interesting.
Talk
contact an attorney, I would say.
Yeah, it was Mark Summers actually.
Who? Your uncle is Mark Summers?
No. He was getting his bagel tossed by Mark Summers.
Why is Mark so into doing that?
I thought he was OCD.
He has OCD. That's why.
Oh, he's got to make sure they're all clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
You down with OCD?
Butthole just like
know me.
So fresh, so fresh, so
Fresh and so clean.
Other people's pussies, right? OCD. How can I explain it?
I think I frame it.
Other people's pussies.
Other people's penises, right?
OCD.
Yeah, you know me. Oh, gross. Oh, his sound effects really get me to the core.
That wasn't a sound effect. He was eating his ice cream.
Summary of the pilot: a 1-hour television pilot that was a remake of the 1966 to 1971 Gothic soap opera television series known as Dark Shadows.
Yeah. Did you? This came out in 2005, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay, I missed that whole section. Sorry.
Playing catch up.
The movie starring Johnny Depp also came out in 2012. You knew that, right?
Yeah, it was him and I can't remember who else was in it.
I never saw it.
Not
didn't
Jessica
see
Chastain, but she's in this one.
That's right. Jessica Chastain is in this. Very good. Do you want to grade the summary, or are you good?
I'm going to give it an A+. I thought it was great.
Wow.
I thought it was a great summary.
I like the genre.
Yeah.
Gothic soap opera.
Yep.
Very
It's
bizarre.
what it is.
You know, you're on my mind, Blake, a lot. When you're always on my mind, of course.
Thank you, Willie.
And what I was picking out this pilot to do, because you have a history with Dark Shadows.
Yes.
And before we get into the segment known as Interesting Facts, I thought you could go ahead and tell us a little bit about your relationship with Dark Shadows.
Yeah, when I saw this come through the email and I saw the link and I saw the name Dark Shadows, I got kind of giddy. And at first I was like, wait a minute, that was on for a long time. But I saw that it was a remake. And yes, just I'll tell the story really fast. I used to work at Zeller, and there was...
What is Zeller?
It was a mental health center.
Yep.
And there was a gentleman that I worked with who was never leaving there. He lived there, and that's where he was going to live until...
And you worked with him?
Yes, I worked on the same unit. Well, I would sub on the same unit as him.
You didn't work with him, did you? Or he was just a patient there?
He was a patient on
Yeah.
that wing.
Yes.
But you
okay.
didn't. He wasn't a coworker.
No, he
Like-
was.
like
You worked with him, as in you were a person who was doing the work on this person.
It's not like this person was allowing Zeller to get a tax break.
right.
Okay.
No, and Alan was a very small, frail man, and he was obsessed with Dark Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
He was at that age to where he was a child when it was on.
Yeah.
And he had scripts.
Oh wow!
He had an autographed picture from Barnabas Collins that he would definitely show it to you often. And he would walk around, and he was a pacer. He would pace a lot up and down the hallways.
Yeah,
and
like
he
Reggie
would,
Miller.
And he would shake his fist, shake his finger.
Alan was a 3-point king?
Shake his finger a lot, and he would be like, Blake, and in 1965, and he would just, and then he's like, and then Barnabas said, and he would go through. I mean, that is something like his brain broke,
Yeah.
but for whatever reason, but as a child, like his brain kept that information.
So it's
And
like
it was-
it's like you take a big piece of glass, right?
okay,
You drop it on the ground like that, and there's one big piece that's still there.
right,
All the rest of it's all shattered into
Right.
tiny pieces. That one big piece that's still there, but the rest of his brain is broken, is Dark Shadows
right, yeah,
information.
yeah, and he had
It's
his
an analogy. A long way to walk out for an
No,
analogy. but it
I go
makes
the
sense.
same route. It's all right.
he did have video cassettes of episodes on it. I don't
course.
know. And once in a while you'd pop it in for him, and he was just the satisfaction and the happiness that this guy got from this whole Dark Shadows all together. It was just cool. Like he would sit there and he would talk about it to you, and a lot of people would just be like, I was like, you kind of get entrenched in it and stuff, and it was cool.
A man that has a
it's
true
admirable.
knowledge and passion about something.
Sure.
That's why
even if this man couldn't take care of himself on a daily basis, but yet he had like all the places in his brain that like, hey, this is how you take a shower. This is or like this is how you don't like hurt people.
somewhere in his mind, he's like, I don't need this information.
I got to
need it-
fill it up with Barnabas.
What did Barnabas Collin do on his 356th birthday?
Yep.
It was that kind of
So
stuff.
no, when I saw this, it really gave me it really was cool because of the ties I had with that.
Soap operas are a very interesting thing to me. Because I went back and I looked. How many episodes of Dark Shadows were there? Do you remember, Blake? It came up on the show before once.
There's 1225.
Yeah, I think just over that. I saw 1230, but over 1,200 episodes.
6 seasons.
Yeah, so this is like a Monday through Friday thing.
Sure, this is just like Days of Our Lives. This is just like General Hospital. Like it was on about the time the kids came home from school, and they found this niche thing that kids got into.
You watch Saturday Night Live. Say there's 22 episodes a year, right?
Yeah.
An hour and a half worth of comedy. When you put in commercials and the musical performances, you're honestly talking probably about 40 to 45 minutes of comedy an episode. Guess what? Half of it is always not good. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
It is tough to write that much comedy, week after week, year after year. But to think you have to come up with an hour's worth of content as a soap opera Monday through Friday, to me, that is mind-boggling. Why does that exist? Why do we have soap operas? Is it just to say, hey, we're going to take a commercial break here. Mom's sitting at home. Wouldn't you love to buy this Febreze?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Don't you
yeah.
like Advil? Oh, it's a great product.
Yeah,
Don't you love Advil?
Your husband's not home. This is your time to rest without him telling you what to do.
But what an unbelievable slog that has
Oh, yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
To work on a soap opera.
And
5 days a week, an hour an episode. That's crazy.
And and to kind of take it and put it in its perspective is like, well, how could you find those storylines or find actors and everything like that?
Yeah.
Because you're always introducing new characters. I looked on the Wikipedia page for the original Dark Shadows, and when you go to the actor list,
Yeah.
like there are times like that actors played like 4 different roles.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was
And-
this British?
no?
This wasn't on in the United States.
It was on the United States,
Okay.
yeah, because it was on. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I feel like it's like college, like for writers. It's either they're all old ancient people who are settled into this, and then they just get their paycheck and they've written, 1,000 episodes of this show, or have been a part of writing 1,000 episodes of this show, or they just rotate writers constantly.
Right.
I think that might be it. It's like it's an entry level shit job. It's like any inside sales job where at a big company,
Just starter writer position.
or it's just a bunch of old guys that have been there forever and they just are doing favors for friends and just making money off of it.
To me, it's still. I mean, it's unreal.
Oh, it's unreal,
Yeah.
yes, but I think that's kind of the reality of it. It's like one of those stupid jobs.
And for the actors, I mean, they're changing.
All the actors
they're,
are just
they're shooting like hours and hours worth a day, and they're changing. They're changing stuff on the fly.
It's just 9 to 5. Yeah. It's just the grind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blake, for regaling us with the story. I was aware of some of that, not all of it.
I have one more fact, but I'll wait until interesting facts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. This is where Jason has scoured the internet to find facts about this show that you may not know. All we ask is that you keep your opinions of these facts to yourself. Please don't taint someone's experience by sharing your opinions.
Shout out to Chris Tuckley, by the way.
Big shout out.
When I hear that song, I think of him. Because he's a very regal man.
Well, that is. I think we instituted that song in the original Tuckley 10.
Yeah. For sure.
And we've just carried it on.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Carry on, Chris's song.
What's that thing they say? Carry on.
My Wayward Son?
No. In Britain, stay calm and carry on.
Keep calm and carry on, yeah.
That's what we do here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every week we keep calm and carry on.
Some facts about the original.
Oh, you're gonna hit us, please.
With the facts about the original.
Right.
Okay.
I don't want to steal his thunder about finding facts about this one.
Don't hear any thunder at all being stolen.
Okay, like I said, we went on for 6 seasons. It started in 1966. The original name the writer was named it Shadows on the Wall, but it was changed to Dark Shadows. Jason, go ahead.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about most of them that I wrote down except that one. It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good.
I'll take it.
Yep.
I mean, a little load off your shoulders.
Well, you know what? I know it as the original one.
It's like
called,
a load on my shoulders, please.
Yeah. Never take the subway if possible. Someone will end up giving you a load on your shoulders.
And maybe tossing your bagel.
One time I ran into Mark Summers on the subway. The original one, was it called Dark Shadows, The Vampire Curse? Was that the full name?
I think.
Fact? Question mark? Greystone Park and Mansion, the house that stood in for the old house in the 1991 revival, was used as Collinwood in this adaptation. Fact.
That's a fact.
The CW network spent $6 million on this pilot. Fact.
That is a fact.
Ooh, you know what? Now that I found that fact out, that makes it under something else understandable for later on.
Okay.
The CW thing.
I hope that you integrate that into whatever part of the show you deem worthy.
I hope you do.
Is that your way of telling me not to interrupt you?
Not at all.
Oh.
You made it sound like...
Yeah, that's his way of saying, don't interrupt me on this show that's just built for constant interruptions.
I thought you said you was going to fit in later. So
Yeah,
I was saying good. Put it in then.
Okay.
Do it, absolutely. The pilot never aired as the BW...
Hey, Jason, you know what?
You interrupt me, fucking shit. Fucking bread bowl bastard. What, you got something for me?
No. I just wanted to interrupt you and be an asshole.
You did it.
I did it. Ain't nothing going to break your stride, Matthew Wilder.
Nothing going to bring me down. Wow, look at you. Look at you. Would someone take the time to look at him?
I sailed away to China.
That was
like to find ya.
That was a meme for a little bit, right? That came back about a year ago as like a meme.
More than a year ago, yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, I feel like.
My daughter sent me the lyrics to that song bit by bit, like she was having a conversation with me.
Yes, that was a thing. Yeah, about maybe a year or two ago. I don't know.
And I was like, I know that song, so don't even try that shit. Blake's taking a picture of us. Yeah, there you go.
It's for our Instagram.
Can
I
you
did
put
the Orange Cassidy.
Can you put the Blake Clayton beef bundle in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll put that one on there too.
yeah.
I've been really looking for content to put on our Instagram. So
You're not even blinking. You're looking me right in the eye and lying to me. That's disrespectful.
If I was looking you right in the eye, you would know I wasn't lying.
Terrifying.
CW.
Remember when? No, hold on a second.
Okay.
Remember when you were doing something gross when Stephanie was on?
It wasn't gross. It just was weird.
And she looked away from you.
It wasn't gross.
She couldn't look you in the eye.
It wasn't gross.
Because you were disgusting.
I was doing something that made her uncomfortable.
What was it?
I didn't hear the whole thing.
So he went to the bathroom, which you never do in the middle of a show, obviously.
Well, I would.
Not if you're hosting.
I'll hold my tongue.
I filled up a whole clear round gallon ice cream thing full of piss. I had to go so.
But I hadn't gotten a haircut in a while.
3 weeks.
But so he went to the bathroom and we were talking, and I felt this piece of hair, and it was like this long, and it was out of place.
For
And
people who can't see, you're showing like over 3 foot long hair.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't go back up, it kept falling down, and then like she saw that I was obsessing about this.
Yeah.
And still trying to get the conversation going. But for her to continue the conversation, she had to turn and face where Jason would be and look at the wall and still talk to me.
Because you were obsessing over your hair?
Yeah. So I wasn't doing anything gross.
Well,
I would never do anything gross.
That's subjective,
in
isn't
front
it?
of Stephanie, unless
well,
she has.
That sounds like her. It sounds like her.
She said she had a hall pass, right?
And she also said she was very sex positive, and I was just like, yeah, all right, Kevin.
She said that?
And I told her, after the show, I said, you need to go down to the free clinic because they have antibiotics there. The pilot never aired as the WB, also the CW. They joined at one point. The WB passed on the series. However, it was screened at a 2005 Dark Shadows Festival in Los Angeles, with subsequent showings at the 2006 Dark Shadows 40th Anniversary Festival in Brooklyn, New York, the 2008 Dark Shadows Festival in Burbank, California, and the 2009 Dark Shadows Festival in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Fact.
Wow.
The WB canceled the Buffy the Vampire Slayer spin-off Angel to make room for Dark Shadows in the 2004-2005 television season. Fact.
It's my angel heart.
Bok, bok, bok.
Chicken go bok, bok, bok.
For the first time, the character of Victoria Winters is portrayed as a blonde, while Angelique is portrayed as a brunette. While it did include new characters not previously shown in the original or the 1991 versions of the series, including Sophia Loomis and Kelly Vance. Fact.
Oh, wow. For the first time, she's a blonde. That is a fact.
Alec Newman, who played Barnabas Collins in this pilot, went on to play a grown-up David Collins in an audio series of Dark Shadows produced by the British company Big Finish, which was created as a continuation of the first TV series and starred many of the original actors. Big Finish.
Jessica Chastain. I talk about a big finish. I can't think of any people who are from Finland that I can say talk about a big finish.
Who's that one guy? He played the Punisher. He's the blonde guy. He's Ivan Drago from.
Fucking Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Big finish.
I don't know if he's finished, but he could pass for it.
I think he's from Mother Russia.
Probably.
We don't talk about them.
That you know what?
We canceled them.
No cops, no politics, no religion, no Russia.
No
Yep.
Russia.
There's 4.
We got to add Russia.
You got to add Russia to that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm here for this
The
moment.
Cold War starts here.
Cold War number 2.
Thank you. Production began in 2004. The original director, Rob Bowman, had to back out of the project at the last minute due to other commitments, and the new director, P.J. Hogan, took the series in a different direction.
Now, you did a fine job.
Dan Curtis was not pleased with the result. Jim Pearson, who served as an associate producer, was also not satisfied with the pilot and said that should the series have continued, there definitely would have been some casting changes made. Fact. Last interesting fact, this is Jessica Chastain's debut. Fact.
Nice.
It's her debut.
End of interesting facts.
Good job.
Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses.
No, let's go ahead and put...
None?
No.
Did you reach out to Jessica Chastain?
I always try everything that I can.
Did you? But you tweeted at Jessica Chastain.
I don't remember if she has a Twitter or not, but if she did, I absolutely tweeted.
Hey, Twitter world.
Come on now. Come on, Twitter world.
It's yours truly.
Hey, me O.J. Simpson, Twitter world.
It's me, Orenthal James.
That's what I always say when I'm going to like the drive-thru at McDonald's. I say I have a sausage McMuffin, Orenthal James, small, and then boom, out the door.
Nice.
And they say, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, most of them wouldn't get it.
I say, fucking figure it out, 15-year-old.
Hey, Twitter world, you got nothing. I'm bummed out that you got nothing here. I feel like this is one where you'd have at least one guy be like, "Ha, that was fun," and then don't say anything.
Yeah.
You know, that happens more often than anything else, right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pump the brakes there, past Blake and Jason. We did get a Twitter response. A Twitter response that led to a lovely interview with Dark Shadow's executive producer, Andrew Stearn. Let's listen now.
All right. I am very excited to be talking with a gentleman today who has been the producer of some of the most notable and popular television programs of the past 20 years, including Third Watch, The West Wing, Southland, and Shameless, and the executive producer of the pilot we're discussing today, Dark Shadows. Andrew Stearn, thank you so much for taking the time to join me.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for calling.
Absolutely. Now, when someone says producer or executive producer, as far as I'm concerned, that person's at the very top of a project. The guy who says, hey, we're going to make a thing, and it's my job to put all the pieces together. How does one get to the position of an executive producer? Is it just like a college degree plus hard work plus time? How did that work for you, if I could ask?
Oh, for me, I mean, it just depends. Every person has a different path. I mean, I went to graduate school at USC for communications management at the Annenberg School. I was lucky enough to get my first job working for the Donners, Dick Donner, who passed recently, who was the director of Lethal Weapon series, amongst others, and Lauren Schuler Donner, his wife, who produced X-Men and Dave and a whole bunch of other things, as an assistant. And I worked there for about 4 years. And I worked for Norman Lear for about a year as my first executive job. And then I worked with John Wells for 17 years, where I did a lot of these shows, and worked my way up to executive producer, and then went on to working title, where I produced the reboot of Tales of the City for Netflix, a doc series called The Case Against Adnan Syed for HBO, and now I have my own deal at ABC Signature, which is part of the Disney family.
Awesome. Now, when you said Dick Donner, I assume it's Richard Donner who did the Superman films with Christopher Reeve.
Correct. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, those films are awesome. He was incredible.
Yeah, he's great and a lovely man.
I think that's always nice to hear too about somebody. That's great. In the intro there, when we first started, I named kind of a murderer's row of dramatic and comedic television that you produced. If someone had just 2 of those shows on their resume, I think it would be incredible. With all these successes under your belt, do you have like a couple that stand out to you as your favorites, or one that you're personally the most proud of?
Well, I mean, I will say, I worked on The West Wing from the pilot, and everyone loves that show, so it was a pleasure, and it's a real joy to have that on my resume because it's such a quality, great show. Shameless is very special to me because I actually found the format in London, brought it back to the U.S., and worked on it from the very beginning, and took a long time to get that made, and obviously, it's those that everyone tells you can't be a hit, like The West Wing and Shameless, that become the biggest hits.
Wow. Yeah, William H. Macy, my God, and the same can be said, I think, about of Martin Sheen, just these forces of nature. And I didn't know that you were the one responsible, because I knew it was a European show, but specifically it's from the UK. But
it was from the UK. Paul Abbott created that. I went to go talk to him about another show he wrote, and he handed me the yet-to-be-aired pilot of the UK Shameless, which I watched, and I said, well, this is the show. So I talked to John Wells about it, and the rest is history, shall we say.
And that just recently ended its run last year, right?
Yes, it did.
Wow. Yeah, that show's very funny and heartwarming in ways you wouldn't think it would be sometimes.
I think that's why I think everyone, what's most important is everyone, it's all about family. And you know, in that show, no matter the good, the bad, the ugly, the family sticks together. And I think people who are watching want to believe that or have that within their own family as well.
It's definitely a rated R version of something like a Roseanne. And just because I feel like there always needs to be this kind of blue collar or working person's a comedy, or in that case, a comedy and drama on TV, because I think people really gravitate towards that, and I think Shameless hits
well,
that.
Well, it's very hard to get them on the air because I don't think people in Hollywood understand that. People like to watch that and see people, everyday people who live everyday lives, but love each other, have a great life, and enjoy what they do.
Yeah, very well said. Let's see here. One of my good friends, you obviously mentioned West Wing. He's a huge West Wing fan. And when I think about West Wing, I think about big networks and kind of like some of the last titans as far as numbers go, viewership. West Wing, I think, is one of the shows that it was a cultural phenomenon, and everyone was talking about it. And we don't have that so much these days on network television. Everything's on streaming and on demand. But West Wing, when I think about that show, I think that was appointment television, and one of the last shows we can really say that about.
Yeah, well, I was working at the same time on ER, so it sort of had the same feel of that. Went from one to the other. In terms of both of them have the same buzz for different reasons. But, they definitely both were water coolers, shall we say. And it's hard now because there's 5 bazillion shows on television and streaming. So it's hard for anyone to wrap their head around that. I think, sometimes we see it with Squid Games or Downton Abbey. There's some, they're far and few between, but, White Lotus, I think a lot of people are talking about this summer. It's harder because there's so much on.
Absolutely. Well, as soon as you said you would be available to talk, I told my friend who loves the West Wing, and I said, "Do you have a question that you'd like to ask Andrew here?" And he said, "I would love to. Do you mind if I ask that question real quick?"
Sure. I hope I can answer it.
Well, it's a question regarding the original intent of Martin Sheen's character, President Bartlett.
Yeah.
He said it's been rumored that the original premise of the West Wing was to paint a picture of a president that was incompetent and unfit for the job, with his chief of staff, chief of communications, and others working hard to keep the White House from falling apart. And with that in mind, is there truth to the rumor that because of how strong of a presidential figure Martin Sheen was and how he commanded the dialogue, that the writers flipped the script and put Rob Lowe's character and Richard Schiff's and others into supporting roles when they were originally meant to be lead actors, and Martin Sheen was originally supposed to be more of a supporting role?
He was supposed to be a guest star, and that's how his contract was done, but it was not for the reasons that you said. It was always supposed to be a strong president, but it was supposed to be about the people around him, and you necessarily wouldn't see him as much. But obviously Martin is a fabulous actor and brought more to that role, and therefore it became a regular part as opposed to more of a recurring role, but not for the reasons that you stated at the beginning.
Gotcha. So he was originally supposed to be a guest star, and then he said, "No, he's tapped into something. We have to keep him."
Correct.
Interesting. All right. Well, those are the two ones that I could think of. Those two massive hits: the West Wing and Shameless, among many others. But I was wanting to ask you a few questions, if I could, about the Dark Shadows remake.
Of course.
Obviously, that's the remake from the 1966 show. You mentioned that this was a passion project for you. Do you have any kind of relationship with the original series? Were you a fan? Did you love that?
I was a fan. Actually, there was a reboot of it in the 90s that I was a fan of, and that's how I first became acquainted with the show. That was on NBC, and then I went back and watched the original and always loved it and really wanted to do a reboot of it. So I went to meet with Dan Curtis, who was the original creator, to ask him if we could work on this together.
Now, when you watched the reboot that you had mentioned, I believe that was around 1991.
Yes.
And that got you interested in the original 60s version. How would someone go about watching the original 60s version? And there's I believe over 1,200 episodes of that.
Yeah, it is now. I want to say it's readily available. It has rerun on various networks over the years, and you can get it on DVD. And I think it's on Amazon streaming.
Okay.
And obviously, and the movie version is doing quite well on Netflix streaming. So I think it's actually harder now to find the 91 version than the 60s version.
Well, how did you watch it back then? When you
the 91 version I watched on television when I was very young. The original, I can't remember at this point, to be honest with you.
Okay. But you did. You fell in love apparently with that material, and it was a passion project for you.
Yes.
The WB I read had spent $6 million on the pilot. Now, to me, that seems like a tremendous amount of money for a pilot, especially in 2004. At some point, there must have been a lot of confidence behind this project. Is that fair to say? Can you speak to that?
Yes, I mean, it was a, John Wells production. We had, obviously, ER and the West Wing on the air. This was something with a name recognition at the time and, needed to do big special effects, and everyone was on board for it. And then things happened.
Yeah. And we can definitely talk about that. But you just mentioned special effects, and that was another one of my questions down the line. Did you receive any kind of pushback? Because there were some truly frightening moments in this, and there was some gore and some terror. Did you guys receive any kind of pushback from the network about that?
No, I think they wanted to have that because at the time, I want to say Buffy was on the air. So that was a hit for them.
Okay. Yeah, Buffy was definitely a big hit, and I heard that the spinoff from Buffy, Angel, I think that starred David Boreanaz.
Yes.
That was canceled to make room for Dark Shadows.
I wish that was the case, but we never aired, so I would have hoped so. But we ran into problems in production and with the network and various things that sadly didn't allow us to go to series.
Well, I had read, too, that there was a director change in there.
There was. Unfortunate. It was very unfortunate. Dan Curtis really loved Rob Bowman, who did some of the 91 series and was working on our project and was in prep on our project to direct it. And he fell out at the last minute to go direct the feature film Elektra.
Okay.
Sure. So we were scrambling, so it was hard because we were already in prep and we needed to find a new director. Hence, it became problematic because when you're, already behind the eight ball, it was tough.
Right. So that director, I believe, was P.J. Hogan, who kind of took the series in a different direction.
Yes.
And a few people over the years have been vocal about kind of their distaste for what came of it, including the aforementioned Dan Curtis, who he was the original creator and producer of the 60s.
He was a real character, yes, and he was not afraid to speak his mind.
Well, someone else who had said that they were not happy was associate producer Jim Pearson.
I like Jim very much, and I would tend to agree with Jim.
Yeah, he said if the show had continued, that he would have definitely made some casting changes.
Well, that I don't know. I mean, we would have had to discuss that, obviously. I think that as you watched it, you can see we were lucky enough to have Jessica Chastain, so I don't think we would have changed her out.
Right. Now that was her debut?
Yeah, we had a holding deal with her at John Wells Productions, and we put her in that show. She had guested on a few of our other shows as well, so we were thrilled to have her. It wasn't easy to get her cast for various reasons, if you could believe it, but we were thrilled to have her. And the other tidbit that was fun was Marley Shelton was our lead, and when you back then you'd bring two people to the network to test, and they would pick one of the two. The person she tested against was Amy Adams.
Oh, wow.
So, and we really love Nat Zucri, who's a big TV star now as well, who was terrific in the pilot. So I was very happy with them. Some people worked, some people didn't. I think that was Jenna Dewan's first job as well. I think she might have one line in it. But that was her first job, if I remember correctly.
A lot of big names in there. Very cool.
Yeah.
What else did I want to ask you here? Oh, so I've seen the pilot a couple times now, and I've been viewing it on YouTube, and I don't know if I just got a bad version of it on YouTube or if there's a better quality one out there, but it looks as though there's some very strong color choices. And I don't know okay, so I don't know if that's one of the problems or one of the directorial decisions that was made.
A directorial choice that I did not agree with. But it was a decision that was made.
A lot of the pilot that I'm watching, it looks fine, but there are a couple scenes where it's just heavy dark, heavy blues, like reds, almost to the point of a blinding degree. And I thought I got a bad version, but that's true to what the director wanted, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. So one of several reasons, perhaps, some people weren't happy with that.
Yes. We had a big, the problem with the network was actually a different problem to begin with, is that the choice of, they wanted someone else for Barnabas and did not love the idea of Alec Newman as Barnabas, which the producers all supported and loved. So it's always a problem when the network and the producers don't agree on something in casting.
Well, Yeah, I would imagine so. Alec Newman, who, like you said, had played Barnabas Collins, he went on to play, I believe, David Collins in an audio series of Dark Shadows.
I didn't know that.
It was produced by a British company called Big Finish, and which it was created as a continuation of the original TV series and had many of the original actors. And it sounds like he didn't have anything to do with that production, though.
No.
Would you ever want to take another stab at doing a Dark Shadows? Is the last thing we saw out there the 2012 Johnny Depp film, or has there been anything since? And would you like to do something going forward with it?
I would love to. I loved the material. I loved the estate and the people who I worked with, and I like to do. I think I'm good at reboots and IP, whether it was Shameless or Tales of the City I did recently, which was on Netflix, which was a continuation of the original show. I just think that the bands, and when you have great material, it's terrific to sort of move forward with it and do something new and different and bring a new audience to it as well.
Right.
If it has something to say and is fun, and I just think that it's everyone loves a good vampire show.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So obviously the pilot never aired, and WB obviously passed on it, but it's been screened at a number of festivals.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, it was pretty much under lock and key. I don't think I've seen it since back then when it was released. So someone obviously just flipped it. So I don't know who, where, when, but that's how it happened.
Okay, so
I think I have a DVD of it somewhere, but it was pretty much under lock and key.
So there was no official release of it at any of these festivals. No. Someone kind of had just slipped it out. Okay,
correct. It was never released officially.
So we know how some of the people felt about it who helped create it. Did you ever get any kind of feedback from fans after it had been slipped out?
No, I didn't go to any of the conventions. I know they watched it. I'm not pleased with it, so I can't imagine the fans are pleased with it. I would love it if they were. That would be my wish and hope and what I went to it wanting, but I don't think that's the case. Hopefully there are some who liked it, but I can completely understand why it didn't fill the promise of what they wanted.
Right.
That said, I think the underlying idea of it and the story that was told is what Dan Curtis wanted to tell, and it mirrored very much the 91 series. So there were good intentions, and Mark Verheiden is a very talented writer who wrote the screenplay. But, it missed the mark, in my opinion, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's too bad it didn't turn out differently, because I think that was a good time for a show like that. I think it was a show that was in the right place at the right time, because you did have shows like Angel and Buffy, and then you'd have other kind of quirky, dark shows like Desperate Housewives that were on TV at the same time.
And it also was right before Vampire Diaries. So I knew that it would have, hit well, because it was the same sort of... Vampire Diaries is very similar to Dark Shadows if you watch it. Well, Dark Shadows, in terms of going back in time and all of that, that is what Dark Shadows did.
Right. I've got one more question. Before I get to that, I didn't know if you had any personal remembrances or anything about making the pilot or that process that you would like to share that we haven't already discussed.
I remember John Carlin, who was in the original, coming to visit the set, which was lovely and great. Obviously, we had the original Barnabas, Jonathan Frid, in the pilot and the opening scene, which was great and I loved. What else do I remember?
This is the train scene, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
To me, that was my favorite scene of the pilot, is the opening sequence.
It's intense right out of the gate.
Yeah. I like that. I thought that worked really well. So that was the best part of the pilot for me. I was very excited about it. I remember being on the set. I remember working night shoots, which is never fun, because a lot of it was at night, and being where with Ivana Milicevic, who played Angelique in that scene. I remember being, on the docks. I think we were with Kelly Hugh. There was a scene there. I remember a lot about it. I remember being on set with Jessica, and I think it was Jason Shaw who played her love interest. There was a lot of stuff. We built some things on set. It was, I have a lot of memories of it, and I really enjoyed the people I worked with in front of and behind the scenes for the most part. It was unfortunate that sometimes you do the best you can. It's with anything in life, and the product just, like I said, it tonally, it just didn't hit it, unfortunately. I think that the problem became, there's an inherent campiness to the title in the show. to try to make it more campy is a huge mistake. And that's what I will say.
Yeah, I think a lot of times camp naturally happens, and to try to force it, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yes.
So, that
was a problem. And I remember being at the mansion, and we did that on location in Beverly Hills, up in an old mansion up in the hills, which was fun as well. And I don't think anyone's been able to shoot there since, so that was interesting as well.
Well, it sounds like a lot of good experiences. I'm sorry that it didn't turn out more the way you guys were hoping it would, but
like I said, it's always hard when you have a director change in prep. It does not set off the right tone. It's difficult to make any show, but to have a change like that is very difficult.
Well, we've watched over 300 pilots that didn't work out, and I would not say this is one that's anywhere near the bottom for me as far as quality.
That's nice to hear.
We've seen a lot of stinkers, and then there's a reason those did not get made, and we've seen some really good ones that why did not this get made? It totally should have, but I mentioned to you before we had started that I was not familiar with really any of the source material before I started digging into this and researching. And that may be to my benefit, honestly, watching this pilot. And I did enjoy it. I did not think it was a bad pilot.
That's nice to hear. I think part of the problem is actually, I don't know if you noticed, but it's actually, in addition to being an expensive pilot, it was short. So it was, it just was all around problematic with that because it was very expensive and those pilots were supposed to be 42 minutes long.
Yeah, I think it was just under 40, right? About 39.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it was a little short and, there wasn't much material to work with in terms of different angles and getting, and working it. And like you said, I did not think there was a reason to have the different filters, shall we say, on the camera.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, those were interesting choices there.
I think that in a feature film that can work. I think it's very hard on a television show on a small screen to have that work. So I understand that coming from features, why the director thought that was a great choice and would work, because in features it would, and it does. I think it's very hard in television because it's a small screen and you're watching it at home, and it's a different ball game.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you're absolutely right about that. You had mentioned before, and I'll mirror that again by saying that you were the former Working Title Television U.S. and John Wells Production president, and you've gone on to create your own Andrew Stearn Productions based at ABC Studios.
Yeah.
What are some of the projects you've completed there, and do you have anything coming up you're able to talk about?
Well, the first thing that I worked on, we just did a show, unfortunately, that was canceled called Rebel for ABC, which starred Andy Garcia and Katie Seagal and John Corbett and a bunch of others, which we had a good time making, which unfortunately got canceled. We did 10 episodes. It just aired it aired about a year ago. Working on a whole bunch of other things right now. We'll see you never know what's going to come to the top. You never know what's going to, make it.
Sure.
I'm hopeful. We'll see. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I would love it. Rebel, I will say I haven't seen it, but I was looking into it, and you just mentioned, obviously, the 3 stars of that. I mean, who's cooler than Andy Garcia and John Corbett? Those guys are the coolest, right?
Look, if there couldn't be any, all of them are lovely people. I really enjoyed working with everyone. It's very unfortunate we didn't get a second season because it was a joy to work with all of the actors and behind-the-scenes people, and Christopher Vernoff, who I worked with on Shameless, and also did a pilot called Studio City, which didn't air either, which you could watch.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
That one starred Florence Pugh, who was an unknown at the time and now is an Academy Award nominee and is a Black Widow and a whole bunch of things. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So that was one of her only television roles and her first thing in the United States.
Interesting. Yeah, 2015, is that right? Studio City?
If you tell me 2015, I'll say yes.
All right, very good. Well, honestly, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about your career and this pilot, and specifically Dark Shadows, and I really do appreciate it. I just want to say continued success to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I would love to know what the fans think of the show if they respond to your Twitter. It's interesting to me because it was special to me, and I was very disappointed in Go, so I'm glad people have actually seen it, even though I'm not that proud of it. I would love if people were at least happy to bring it back for the moment for the characters that they loved.
Well, that's a great service you did to the fans. You gave them something a little extra there, and any feedback that we get, we will certainly send your way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Andrew. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Holy guacamole. What a great American interview with Andrew Stearn, executive producer of Dark Shadows. Thank you so much, Andrew. You're surely going on the Couch Pilots Hall of Fame. Now back to the show. Something's wrong with my voice. I can't tell what it is.
You go now. Tossing a bagel and going meat for a bagel. Those are two different things.
MEAT. Let's put 10 minutes on the clock, and let's break down the pilot episode of Dark Shadows. Do you want to start us off, Kevin, or not?
I got no notes, but I
notes.
I watched it very
New no notes?
very recently. Yeah,
Okay.
new no notes.
I'll start us off then.
I'll start us off.
Please do it.
It starts off. The first shot I think is just kind of like rainy, but then it goes to a train like right away.
The train's on the side of the mountain.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's
looks like the
very
Pacific
spooky.
Northwest,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, very spooky looking. I knew right away that it was going to be spooky. Dark Shadows, it rang a bell, and I was like, that's that Johnny Depp movie that was based on like a show from the 70s. And I was exactly right, because I looked it up right afterwards. And so it's just kind of, you can tell it's going to be spooky. And first person we see is Victoria or Veronica, which
It's Victoria.
Victoria Winters.
Victoria Winters.
And she does some narration, and she does a little bit of narration throughout the rest of the
and
show.
she says, like, I'm Victoria Winters, like right up top.
Yeah.
So that's why it
That's,
was easy
to me, that's the perfect intro line for a narrator.
especially,
Tell me your name.
Well, especially because this is the first time she's blonde.
That's true. She's on a train though, and she's like, I've been hired to tutor a troubled boy, and she even says, maybe going to do this will help me with my mysterious past. And I was like, there is no more a better soap opera line than exactly
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Because we can fit this in a week from now or 10 years from now.
Oh yeah.
There's a storm, and she has there's like a spooky. I guess she falls asleep, and she has like a spooky nightmare.
There's a handful of times in this show where we're seeing something overtly spooky,
Little jump scare-ish
and we
kinda way.
don't know if it's someone's imagination or a nightmare or what it is. In this instance, it happens to be a nightmare.
Right.
I woke up on the plane the other day. On
I
Sunday.
woke up on a plane. Oh no, wait, I got drunk on a
I
plane.
got drunk on a plane. No, I had a really tough time both flights sleeping at all, just because I need to get one of those neck pillows, but I don't travel enough that it's worth it to get one.
A mic pillow?
Yeah, mic pillow, neck pillow.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and I fell asleep for like a second, and I like really jumped really hard, and like I was like, sorry, I had to say something to the lady, and you know what she said to me? She said, "You don't have to worry about them."
Whoa. Just like the pilot we saw.
Spooky.
Yeah.
So she gets off the train, and there's a big old storm. She gets all wet. She can't find a cell service. There's nobody there to pick her up, and so whoop, jump scare. Turns around, and there's Willie, the driver, and he takes her to the mansion. One thing I will say about
It's a big sprawling estate.
sure,
Yeah.
One
Huge.
thing I will say about Willie is it was as though in this show there was two different Willies, because I did not recognize this gentleman at this point, but when he comes back onto the show, I recognize who he was.
Totally on purpose. They did that. Why they did that?
Sure.
And I will say, at this point, I don't know if we have a bad version of the pilot, but if I'm sure it's not. It's definitely not crystal clear. But if nothing else, it appears that they're doing some pretty wild stuff here with color.
Stuff. Yeah, no, I think that we did get a bad copy of it, but I do
But
think
it
that it
still
was
would've
very
been
artistic,
bad.
very
Yeah.
artistic
Now,
for sure.
Blake, you probably have the most information or experience with Dark Shadows, having worked with someone who was kind of obsessed with it at Zeller. I'm going to speak for Kevin and I and say we probably have no contact with Dark Shadows. I don't know. Did Dark Shadows back then, in the 60s and 70s when it originally aired, were they doing anything interesting with color? Were they doing anything different with style on purpose?
Well, it started out in black and white, and it was one of the first of the soap operas to go color.
okay.
I read that like with special effects wise, like they were pretty like innovative at the time in the 60s for it.
You read about it. You were doing some research.
Yeah, I didn't do much today at work. It's Monday. Tomorrow's my busy day.
Day to the world.
I will say this though, like a lot of times it'll be like it's real dark, or there's like some bright red or bright green.
Green, yeah.
And
Yeah.
if this is on purpose, I mean, like again, not crystal clear, so we obviously got a not great version of it. But in the best version possible, whatever, if that exists out there, if they're still doing these things with the color, I kind of don't mind it.
No,
It's kind of cool what they're doing.
I
with
don't
some of the
think that if
colors.
we just had a bad copy, it would be that noticeable. Like it was more of the quality, but the color's not messed up. I think they really did a lot with
very heavy reds.
and very dark and very like heavy highlighted areas are red and
Interesting takes. I can't believe this cost $6 million, though. That's insane.
I'm going to have to show you the movie that I was in that went for a Guinness Book of World Records lowest budget film, and it looks just like this.
You were in a movie?
I've never told you about the movie I was in.
Did you know that he was in a movie? I don't fucking know that.
We'll have to have a screening sometime.
I know why it cost $6 million.
Please.
Did you see all that gold?
That was a lot of gold. It's probably like
Come on, guys.
$5.85 million worth of gold.
Come on, guys. That was a lot of.
Yeah, come on, guys.
That
right?
was-
Yeah, come on, guys. Mark Summers knows about that.
With my gold coins. I'm like, come on, you guys.
I don't know if I've told you this, guys, but I'm not getting married until gay people can get married because I'm gay.
Yeah, Harris.
These are all just Harris jokes. I'm sorry. When Victoria arrives with Willie to the estate, Victoria Collins.
Willie.
Is that your Alf?
I was gonna do. Hey Barnabas, I brought your girl. You love her. Sorry.
Elizabeth Collins welcomes Victoria, and Roger is introduced. It's Elizabeth's brother.
Yeah, and I know both of these actors, right?
I can't place them, but definitely Roger looks familiar to me.
Yeah.
So what? We're gonna end up being here forever, but.
Yeah.
Elizabeth and Roger are brother and sister. Okay?
Yeah.
So then Barnabas was their father or great father.
Yeah,
maybe even
generations down the road.
Yeah.
And so then David, who is the son, the kid that she's helping, is Roger's son.
Yeah.
Correct.
Just making sure, but
Yeah.
because and not to think that Elizabeth is the mother because Elizabeth's not the mother of David.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought she was, but
They tell you quickly what.
I missed that part. Yeah.
David is the boy she'll be tutoring, and Victoria wants to meet him, but he's asleep. And so, and then after that, like right away, like Will almost seems to like be coming on to Victoria. But
Yeah.
I think it's we had said earlier it introduced new characters like Sophia Willis, which was I think Willie's girlfriend, but apparently his wife, I guess, right? Because they call her Loomis, and that's Willie's last name.
I think I don't. Yeah. I'm not for sure about that, but this is like the first scene with the two of them where I'm like, oh, this is like going to be pretty racy too. Like there's gonna
When Sophia and Willie are together, and
Right.
Willie's like Willie. And I don't. This is is this a Simpsons reference or not? But it's like is he the groundskeeper?
I think he.
Yeah.
I think he
Groundskeeper
actually
Willie?
is.
Yeah. And he says that he
Simpsons weren't around back in 2005.
That's true.
so-
but
So he has his own place on the property, and he's there with Sophia, which, if her last name is Loomis, I would guess is his wife.
right.
Well, you're not supposed to live together unless you're married. But before that, we get to the groundskeeper house, or is it after we get the first like jump scare?
I don't know what you're going to say. So
David in the bathtub.
Oh, that was
after.
before.
That was after we're in the
Yeah.
groundskeeper. Okay.
yeah. So his girlfriend Willie and his girlfriend Sophia, they're trying to
Wife.
Wife. I'm sorry.
They,
They're like,
they find the gold before they go to that scene.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
no,
Okay.
I don't
yeah.
think so.
No, I'm absolutely positive.
Okay. So they're like, she's like, hey, we got to do this. Like, literally, you can say exactly what I'm saying right now, and it would convey exactly what they
Oh
were
no,
saying.
I take that back. She was talking about the gold. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wrote gold.
Okay.
I do apologize.
And,
Hey,
I respect you and I honor you. It takes a big man to apologize. A big man.
Well,
Got to start eating more ice cream.
He's gonna fucking double down on that double Dutch.
double dare me.
Hey, we got to do this. And he's like, oh, you want to go do that tonight? Yeah. Okay.
Heavy use on the red and black in this scene too.
Right at the beginning, and then
Heavy use.
all of a sudden,
Yes, and then
he's laying on the ground, and it's just clear.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
So,
so-
she's for some reason she's
Yeah.
like they have gold. This family's very wealthy. Obviously, this sprawling estate.
it's
They have
huge.
gold. I believe it's here. We'll go find it. And elsewhere in the mansion.
It's in the family mausoleum.
Yeah, that's where they said
Oh,
the gold
great.
is.
Oh, yeah. Go there.
that'll
Yeah.
that'll do.
Oh, that'll do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll do.
Elsewhere, Victoria awakens in the night to an overflowing bathtub to find David wide-eyed at the bottom of the tub. This is another instance where I was like,
This is a dream.
but it wasn't a
It
dream.
wasn't a dream.
This guy, this like, how old is David? Seriously, like 9?
9
10?
or 10, that's what
yeah.
I was thinking.
Totally. This kid apparently filled up her bathtub, did lay at the bottom, waited for her
with
to get in
his
there,
eyes wide open,
and like just to fuck with her.
and then when he's like, "What are you gonna do? Tell my mom?" He goes.
He jumps out and yells, "I hope,
I hope you die."
Yeah.
I was just
Insane.
like, wow.
She chases him back to like his room, and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you gotta tell my mom." He's like, "No, the first one's free, but I just want you to know, I'm not gonna tolerate this crap." She's kind of like setting boundaries for this boy.
And then she's like, "I am not afraid of you," and he goes,
You should
"Well,
be."
you should be." And then she plays it totally cool. Like she knows what she's getting into, which is great. Towards the back half of the episode, it's like, okay, she's kind of a pussy anyways, but like she's setting the bar like, hey,
With
I'm
this
not gonna,
kid-
I'm not gonna put up with your shit. You know?
Yeah, because I mean, she's there to do a job, and
Yeah. I thought she handled that very well, and I was like, oh, she's kind of a good actress, and then I realized she's not very good.
Marley, I mentioned Scream earlier. Marley Shelton, who played Victoria Winters in this,
Yeah.
was a sheriff's deputy in Scream 4 and 5. So how do you like that? Anyway, Willie and Sophia, we go back to them, and then they're in the cemetery looking for the gold. They find some stairs, so they head underground. They have lanterns and crowbars, and Willie is pretty spooked at this point.
He just keeps like going like, ah, ah. It's very weird. It sounds like he's in his vinegar strokes.
So we find
leak.
they find the spot, and and she tries to like pull the statue, which she thinks is a lever.
Yeah.
She cuts her hand. Willie goes over and pulls the lever. It works.
Pretty well written.
Yeah, because you have to that has to happen for what next to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of well written.
They come across like a big stone coffin or whatever you call that thing.
Sarcophagus.
And it's wrapped up in chains. They use the crowbar. They pop it open. They move it out of the way, and there is like a mummified corpse inside.
Right.
Right.
And they're like, "There's no gold in here."
He says, "Check the pockets." I'm not doing any of this shit.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what Willie's like. What are you talking about?
The
I'm not
lady's
doing this.
like, "If you don't go, then I'm not gonna fuck you." It's like, that is fine.
Yeah,
You're not gonna get me down prying open corpses' graves
Yeah.
and like sorting through their belongings.
so
Christ.
her hands all cut up, and she's like shining the flashlight, and then you see the shot of blood dripping off of her hand,
Right
going
onto his chin.
right onto the corpse's like mustache and chin area, and it's like,
Which is exactly where it should be.
Hell yeah.
yeah. And then
If you're doing it right.
and then Willie opens up. He's like, "Hey, look at this! Here it is.
And that's why, hence, this is the
And
scene.
here's the whole budget of the movie.
This is the whole budget of the movie. All the
And they-
gold coins.
It's so funny because, like, the way they came out, you would think that shelf was at a slant with the big end coming. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
How would they have ever closed that to begin with?
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, all this gold spills out, and then the corpse comes to life, grabs Willie, starts attacking him,
Yeah.
and then grabs the lady, and then we see the corpse grab a hold
Yeah.
of and drain the life completely out of this broad.
with the neck bite.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Quick break, real quick. Quick break. If you're listening to this show right now,
Right.
I think you should watch this. This is not me spoiling my rating,
Right.
but I think you need to watch this. To be honest, because
It's decent production value.
it's
right?
Even the low quality we have.
Yeah.
And maybe out there's a better quality.
let us know. Tweet at us. Yeah.
Back at the house, Victoria meets Carolyn Stoddard, who is played by Jessica Chastain. And then that same night on a boat on a dock, Carolyn meets up with her boyfriend, and they start to get busy.
Yeah. So
This is the busiest.
Hell yeah.
here's the thing. So my mom, my wife.
Huh?
Thank you.
I used to get my girlfriend and mom mixed up all the time.
So she started cooking dinner when I first turned this on. She happened to walk in during the whole Willie sex scene.
Okay.
And then she's in there frying up hamburger. And then she comes, next time she walks in, it's during this scene, and her exact words are, "What is Jason making you watch?"
Did you say, "Bitch, sit down and check it out"?
I said,
Take my fucking hamburger.
porn. No.
I said porn.
And I wrote she had sex on a boat. And it's just the way I wrote it. You could tell I was like saying it.
I thought you were
On a
saying-
boat.
I thought you were saying you could tell I was drunk.
So it's like when you get when you're drinking like a lousy beer, like a Busch Light.
Sure.
What's the same thing about this scene and Busch Light? It's fucking close to water.
And to think that we don't charge for this show. It's like we're doing
That
a
was-
service, but a disservice to ourselves.
That was a pretty good joke.
That was pretty good. Did you have it thought up prior to an insert?
Some guy told me that like senior year of high school. What's this, having sex on a boat and Busch Light? What do they have in common? They're fucking close to water.
So she ends up starting to go home. Can't do it. And something's in a tree, ends up snatching her up in the street.
So wild. I didn't really see this
It's like a-
scene.
It's like a jump scare too, kind of in a way.
Yeah.
Lots of like bright reds and greens and a lot like deep blacks in this. So it's like you can't tell what's happening necessarily, but you kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, she's being attacked by a Vemper.
Next day, Victoria has breakfast with Elizabeth, and they talk about David. And it's come to know that David's mother was institutionalized.
Just a few years ago.
And they receive a call, and then Roger and Elizabeth rush to the hospital to see Caroline, who's there. Obviously, she was attacked.
Sweet Carolyn.
The doctor tells the family and the sheriff.
Shot.
Yeah.
Huh?
She wasn't shot.
You don't remember that song?
That's my the Twitter.
You don't remember that Neil Diamond song?
The TikTok thing.
Is that a TikTok thing?
Uh-huh.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. Okay.
We're on different TikToks.
Oh, believe me, we
well,
are.
It's a Neil,
Mine is almost illegal. I
It's
don't
a-
know
it's
how
a,
it happened.
I got a burner talk, so I'm on it on that one.
it's a Neil Diamond MIA mashup. Is
Okay.
what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, duh.
So yeah, she's been
What does the doctor say?
that there's a blood obsession or something, or she was bled out.
She immediately was like just being so candid with her information that she was giving that it could only be a soap opera.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could be somebody with a blood obsession." And the cop, I think it's the same cop from Big Lebowski when he goes, "I'm not gonna have too much luck getting them credence." And you guys both don't know that because you didn't watch it every day for an entire summer. But she said the saliva sample that we found was human.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like
Half of her blood was drained too.
she's like, she should be going with the patient and
yeah,
like there's
and freaking out a little bit.
but she's just like giving these people the entire story like
So to build to
hours after it happened. Yeah, it's like okay, whatever.
Back at the house, Barnabas Collins arrives to meet Elizabeth and Roger is immediately like suspicious of this
right.
guy.
He's like, because they make a reference. They're talking about Barnabas, and they look up at a big portrait, a painting of him.
of him.
Yeah,
But it's yeah, it's
But they don't think it's him. They think it's a descendant of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
And Barnabas, he's like, I've come back here. I used to be in England, but I'm back here now because I want to reclaim my heritage. I want to understand where I'm from. But it's just his, swindling way of trying to get into the family and take control of things. He says, I want to rebuild a house that's on the estate. And they're like, it's in shambles. If you put money into that thing, you're just losing your money. He's like, I'll figure it out. I'm going to go check it out.
The manor house is that what he called it?
I think so, and that's
Manor
kind of going
house,
to be
yeah.
like you can tell it's going to be Barnabas like his HQ going forward.
Yeah,
Right?
his lair.
Probably have a tiki bar.
Hell yeah.
So
Swim up.
Yeah. So and then David comes in and sees him, and he gets angry, and he wants Barnabas to leave.
He does not like him.
He doesn't.
Instantly does not like him.
He says, I don't like it.
Later, it appears that Barnabas recognizes Victoria, and he while she's sleeping, he resists biting her. He wants to, but he resists.
And
it.
he has like a beard in that shot. Did you guys realize that, or was that
I don't
just
think
me?
I did. He had a beard in that shot.
He goes up to her and he has this like beard, not a big beard, but like a regular.
Do you think maybe it's just
5 o'clock
shadows?
shadow, but like
5 o'clock dark shadow.
like it's like a 2-day dark shadow.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I thought
It was about as good as like his Bud Light joke from
Yeah.
earlier.
It's there we go. It's like for me like a 3-day shadow, for normal people like a week shadow.
Okay.
And he's right there, and then immediately he's like, he resists biting her, and then he's like, and then you're like, oh, she wakes up. It's another. Oh, it's part of a dream, and then she goes outside just to ostensibly for this shot to happen. Is why she went outside.
It's a fresh air to clear her head, and then it pans up, and Barnabas is like sticking to a wall like a goddamn Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So the next shot is,
and he doesn't have the beard then. That's
Right.
why I noticed because I was like,
quick shave.
yeah, I guess.
next scene is there the police officers and the same doctor is made a call visit to the shore.
Yeah.
And there's another dead body, and it again has been sucked of all its
Was
blood.
this Sophia Loomis, or is this just another random body?
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
I didn't know.
I wasn't sure either. Because there's like, when Sophia Loomis gets the blood drain out of her, like you see her like face like cave in.
That was kind of a cool, effect.
And then, but then they don't shy away from the like kind of the quote unquote gore, because when you see the dead body, when you're talking about now, like you see like kind of a lady who looks like she's been drained of her blood, but also kind of like waterlogged from being in the water for a while.
And I think this is probably not necessarily one of the main characters, but it's probably set up to be like his maid or something at the mansion. Like he has to kill a couple people to get his workers.
Yeah, exactly.
So so you think Sophia Loomis wasn't killed? But I mean, this woman they found on the dock, because later we find out like Willie Loomis was most likely like bitten and turned into a guy that will work for Barnabas.
Right.
But was Sophia Loomis? She looked like she was like toast.
But Sophia, she's the one who comes in the cemetery, though, right?
With Willie, yeah.
Yeah.
No, to Dan,
David,
and brings him the knife. Is that not Sophia?
I think that's Angelique.
Yeah,
that's
Josette.
Oh, you're right. I'm
That's
sorry.
Josette.
No, so that she might have been dead.
It's tough to say, but David does. Speaking of that scene, David hears the voice of his mother calling for him in the middle of the night, and he goes to the graveyard that we saw earlier, and he's frantically digging in the ground until he comes across a human skeleton.
It's
and
not buried very deep.
No,
not
a
at
very
all.
shallow grave.
Yeah.
He pulls a dagger from its chest, and then he sees a floating woman that like kind of comes towards him, and she doesn't like attack him. She kind of embraces him.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was weird.
it cuts to David arriving back at the house, and he's very frightened about his interaction with that evil specter, and he tries to explain to everyone, but his father, Roger's kind of fed up, and he kind of like berates the boy for his
boy who
behavior.
cried wolf type situation.
I think so, yeah.
He takes the dagger, he yanks it from him. I find that Roger is an alcoholic who is struggling with taking care of a child and having his sister live with him, and his wife,
no wife,
and his wife being a crazy lunatic.
Yeah, I mean,
and he is just off his rocker.
He descended into madness along with her.
Sure,
I feel like
for sure.
But
Wait, who are you saying is Roger's wife?
well, she
never-
she went to the loony bin.
She's
Okay,
yeah.
that's right. She went.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
So, and the rest of the family, they kind of see.
I wrote takes dagger. Roger's a dick.
He's just. It was good acting though. I thought.
No, yeah.
I thought he was probably the best actor in the whole thing.
For like if this went forward, and we'll get to more of that later, I imagine it's a weekly series, and it's not Monday through
yeah,
Friday.
No,
yeah.
it can't. No.
Not at $6 million just for the pilot.
Yeah, exactly.
But for like for like a soap opera level thing, yeah, I would agree with you guys. It was good acting.
Yeah.
Elsewhere,
Mostly good.
Carolyn wakes up from where she is in the hospital room, but she's
Zombified.
You can tell that she's like kind of under Barnabas's spell. She's like longing for him to return.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Jessica Chastain.
And David runs down to the old house, and
He's
Willie scares David.
yeah. Because he's calling the name of this person,
Sarah.
he's yelling Sarah.
Sarah.
And-
Sarah. No time is a good
built on the
time
back
for
of his
goodbye.
Is that Toto?
No, that was Jefferson Starship.
Of course.
Airplane or Starship?
It was Jefferson Airplane.
Jefferson Starship has one of my favorite songs of all time.
We built this city. Or Jane.
Jane.
Yeah.
It is Jane.
Jane said.
Nope, not that one.
Oh God, how many times I have sex with that stupid song?
In this scene, we get a lot more of that black and red kind of shadowy
much.
looking thing.
Yeah.
And then, Willie stops David from exploring the house further. And again, this is the dilapidated
Manor
house that Barnabas has kind of claimed for his own.
Yep, and this is where I recognize Willie, and I was like, oh, that's Logan from the Gilmore Girls.
Oh,
Is it?
really? I don't know that at
Yeah,
all.
remember the rich one that she had the hots for? Yes.
I never watched it like actually, but I that's where I recognize him.
And I'm
from.
sure that he was also probably in like that movie Skulls or whatever, like the other,
Skull and Bones.
Yeah,
or like the Joshua Jackson movie.
it was, and I'm sure he maybe had a cameo on Dawson's Creek. It was
when
just
he
that
had his
kinda-
glasses off, you recognize him right
once
away.
yeah, for sure. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
And this is kind of where you first see that. Oh, Willie survived that attack.
But
in
he's
the
acting
graveyard.
different.
Yep.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it looks different.
We can certainly surmise at this point that Barnabas is definitely the corpse from the beginning, and Willie is absolutely working for him.
Right.
Yep.
And this is Victoria ends up going over there trying to find David, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Barnabas shows her this room that was all boarded up, and it walks
I
into this.
love what you've done with the place.
But he didn't do anything. It was like this.
We should say that, like, we know as the audience that Barnabas is kind of this like vampiric creature, and he's kind of getting people under a spell. But other people don't know that yet.
No, they think it's
so.
just-
Victoria is like, "Oh, I'd be happy to walk around this manor with you, and you can show me around." And she's not scared at all. He's a perfectly polite gentleman. But we don't know that the kind of the underhanded stuff that's happening behind the scenes.
Right.
But you're right. They come into this part of the mansion that seemingly had been untouched since maybe Barnabas originally passed away.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's and so of course there's this portrait, big huge painting in this room of Josette, which looks exactly like Victoria.
They did a good job with the painting.
Like
I
not
think
making it identical, but making it close enough.
Yeah.
And I think this lady must have been Barnabas's like former lover who met like an early and tragic end before they were able to reproduce. You've got a really goofy smile on your
No,
face. and you're nodding.
I'm glad you're following along,
Okay.
and you'll know who. Do you know who killed her?
I don't.
Okay, well,
She has those doe-like fuck me eyes.
Oh
yeah.
Do you guys ever contribute to a dough fuck me?
Doe fuck me.
La sida.
Yeah, in the Ukraine, a bunch of people are building up doe fuck me's.
Yeah.
Yeah, for their families.
I've pledged to match a certain dough fuck me account, a penny for penny, cent for cent,
Yeah.
dollar for dollar. Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out to George Floyd. Am I right?
Shout out to his family.
I donated 1 million rubles.
So 85 cents.
Yeah. It was funny because when that was all going on, and we're not going to talk about Russia, obviously, we're talking about the Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank God it's all over. But when it was going on,
Right, when it was
Yeah.
going on. I mean, I went on the Ukraine. I went on the Ukraine mail order bride site, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of sales going on.
They were slashing prices, right?
What they do
You just got to pick them up and pull them, I guess.
for cereal, though, what people have been doing has been booking Airbnbs in Ukraine, in
Yeah.
like the tourist cities, and saying like, "I'm not actually coming. This is just like a donation to your
Yeah.
family." And people are like,
Donation
"Oh."
to your family.
And they're like, "Oh, this is awesome. This is exactly what we need. Just cash flow because nobody's coming here right now.
Nobody can get cash now.
Nobody's coming there right now." And so they're like, "Oh, okay, awesome." So they're recommending you do that. Do with that information what you will. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You present this beautiful thing and then outright say, "I'm not going to participate."
I cannot.
Well,
That's fair.
Times are tough.
That's fair.
I've got to pay $4.60 a gallon of gas right now, and so
Yeah.
You're not making that NBA money.
Not making.
yet?
I was just gonna say I'm not making that NBA money. I'll tell you more off pod about that.
So Victoria tells Barnabas of the dagger that David found, and it was in the woods. And Barnabas almost seems to like entrance her, and they're about ready to kiss.
Yeah.
And then they're interrupted, and Barnabas reveals to Willie after Victoria leaves that the woman who was buried with the dagger was Angelique, and that she is the devil incarnate. And this is the only real information we have about her at this point. We assume that's probably the lady that was in the woods with David. But
Yeah.
then Victoria then is in her car, and mind you, she stays in the main house, and she went over to this house where Barnabas is hanging out. This estate is so sprawling that she has to take her car back.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's doing so, and what happens?
she crashes into this this demon.
Well, it just looked like a lady in the road.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But when the lady comes up to the mirror and says, "Stay away," or no, he's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
she-
she hits the lady, and she's like freaked out by this car accident. She goes to like inspect this woman. It's like, can I help this person? And then her face lifts up and she looks like a demon, doesn't she?
She looks like the Ring Girl kind of.
Here's what I was concerned
Looks
about.
like she's in Kiss, honestly.
At this point, this is what I was. My question to myself was, didn't you go there to get David, and you don't have David in the car with you?
Willie took him back.
And then I remembered Willie took him back.
Yeah.
How far back?
All the way back. The demon raises its head, and you're right. It says, he's mine, and then it's an abrupt end. And my God, that's the end of the pilot.
It's not a fade to black, it's a cut to
Please
black.
remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Cut to black.
Turbulence.
Turbulence.
It's the part of the show where
I liked it better when you used to say that.
Turbulence.
Turbulence.
Turbulent. This didn't go forward. My God. Is this the most expensive pilot we've ever heard of? $6 million? Maybe. It didn't go forward, though.
I bet you Juiced was more.
Oh, with O.J. Simpson. Did you know I reached out to O.J. Simpson?
Oh.
Hey, Twitter world.
I reached out to him. He has not reached back. I will say this. We often ask in this part of the show, why didn't this show work? How would we improve it? And where would it go if it survived? And I have a little information.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
The WB chairman, Garth Ansier, said in July of 2005, we had a new director, Hogan, which we mentioned in Interesting Facts, come in and who was accomplished in movies, but frankly didn't do a particularly good job. The script was terrific, but creatively the end result did not come out the way we had hoped for. Jeff Thompson, who wrote in The Television Horrors of Dan Curtis, that the WB later regretted their decision as the 2004-2005 season saw the debut of several popular mystical and quirky series like Lost, Desperate Housewives, Medium, Ghost Whisperer, and Supernatural, which went on for 17 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy that show went on for that long. It was insane.
I watched Medium. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was Patricia Arquette, right?
Yeah, it was a blonde lady.
R.I.P.
Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say.
So,
She treated. I'm like shit.
Was that her?
I'm sorry, Mama.
I thought that was like the model. That wasn't Christina Brink.
Put that on the board.
All right. Here it is.
I'm sorry, Mama. So if you're like a person who kind of shifts around, you're antsy, right? But this guy's antsier.
Yeah, this is Garth Ansier, right?
Okay.
It's barely better than the Bush Light.
Was that the first thing you said, like in the sentence that you read, and I was holding on to that until the very end?
It was like 2.5, 3 full sentences, and it was the third and fourth word.
Yeah.
What I said.
So like when you're a guy is an anxious, you're antsy. This guy, you're telling me this guy's antsier? You telling me that?
I missed it. I don't know. It must be over my head.
There's a guy whose last name is Antsier.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What was the joke again?
I said, so if you're a guy who's anxious, you're antsy, but you're telling me this guy's antsier?
That's pretty good. Sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, that covers a lot of ground. I gotta send you that video, Blake, so you actually understand what I'm saying. It's pretty funny.
What was Blake? You have a little bit of intimate knowledge here, right?
Yeah, I mean, not as much as I did have to brush up on some stuff.
Well,
what's his name?
We asked Alan to be here, but he simply was not available.
I do a really good impersonation of Alan. If you'd like me to do the impersonation,
you
of
did
Alan.
it already, didn't you?
Go
No,
ahead.
I didn't do full. No, you can't have. He didn't talk loud enough. You can't have music on. So ask me the question you were just about ready to ask me, but say Alan.
Hey, Alan, what would you do to improve Dark Shadows?
Well, Jason, I just think this was a very good show, and I just can't believe it. And I just Barnabas Collins was the most handsome man in the world, and I loved it, and I love watching Dark Shadows every single day.
Just Wapner.
What happened there?
Just Wapner.
What happened there? Like the worst times for my wife to come in are when I'm doing a imitation of a crazy person that I worked with.
Right.
I was farting about
Doing
it. She
it.
had to close the door.
Oh,
Yeah. I think the dogs are probably coming down here, right?
who? That's not a good idea.
That better not be happening.
They like it in here, though. They do like it in here. They reach the mic, so they don't have to sit
That
up.
is nuts. That's
If
nuts.
this survives, Kevin, what do you think?
I think it would be a series that would have taken off. I feel like because it's like you mentioned, these are the shows that are coming out then. Supernatural, Medium. I think this would have been successful in 2005. Why it didn't go on? Probably because the writing was very. They probably had some of the guys who wrote for that when they were young.
The original writers.
You know what I'm saying? They
Okay.
maybe did, or they
Maybe did?
They maybe did.
They use a soap opera template.
They used a soap opera template, and that does not a good show make, I think. But I thought the acting was okay in the first half, the second half. Some of the actors gave a good performance. Some of them gave a really shitty performance, but was it them or was it the writing? Like Willie's wife. Oh my god, she
Sophia.
had like 3 or 4 lines that
They were
like,
horrible.
Yeah, like no, bozo. Why don't you do this, bozo? Or like something like,
Yeah.
okay, Einstein.
Or
Like,
I'm going to leave.
yeah, it was just some of the lines were not great, and I think it was because the template was like a soap opera. But it could have gone somewhere if they kept going.
There was a lot of information.
Oh yeah,
So this is a reboot. So there's a lot of base information that you have to give people.
and there's a lot that already is out there
Right.
from that thing.
you have to kind of.
But this is a good exposition into a
Sure.
series. Like
Right.
this is a good pilot for a series.
I think so.
Yeah.
But on its own, is it a good pilot? We shall see.
Is this satire?
No,
You don't think so?
I think this is an artistic.
Satire?
I think this is an artistic, a new artistic way. It's a new painting of Barnabas.
How would this be satire?
6 or 7 years ago, I went back and I watched Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Largely,
You ever go to that restaurant?
Considered satire? No, I've never been there. What's it called?
Twin Peaks.
No, I've never been there.
It's like Hooters.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a pun on boobs.
Oh no, I get it.
Yeah, but they all wear like lumberjack little tiny skirts and tops. Pretty cool.
They have chopped up hot dogs there.
Yeah, big old Red Bull full of chopped up hot dogs.
I felt like this. I felt like it was satire because it was so like purposefully devoid of any humor whatsoever. There's nothing funny about this. It's all serious. There's no jokes. There's no one-liners. It's all serious. The other day, I just saw the new Batman movie. Almost 3 hours. Ugh, no laughs. It is. It's so heavy. People are saying, I love this movie. I am very lukewarm on this movie. I think there's some good performances in it, but the fact that there's nothing to laugh at. There's nothing light about it at all. The Nolan...
Nothing to break the tension.
Nothing. In the Nolan trilogy, you've got Michael Caine. He's in it, right?
My cocaine.
Michael Caine's in it, and he's plays Alfred Pennyworth, and he drops a couple funny lines. They never come off as cheesy. They always hit, and there's something to like smile about, even if just for a moment.
Morgan Freeman too.
Sometimes, absolutely.
Oh, when he
Absolutely.
plays God, he's
Yeah, well,
funny
yeah.
as shit.
It's funny he
Bruce Almighty.
reprised his role from Evan Almighty and
also
Bruce
Bruce Almighty.
and Bruce Almighty to be in the Nolan trilogy of the Batman movies.
I don't. I can't. I guess I would like to go back and like watch a couple episodes of like
Right.
the old because
Right.
I don't think that there was any jokes. I think it was gothic vampire stories.
But you don't. I mean, you don't have to be exactly like the old. You have to change with the times a
Jason,
little bit.
life is not all about jokes and ha ha funny. There's serious stuff that happens. is for me, damn
Ladies
Grow
and
up.
gentlemen, As Mr. Harris said, please make sure it's
time to be an adult.
It's real for me, damn it. Remember when that guy said that?
It's real to me, damn
You
it.
remember that, Blake?
Have you not seen that video?
He's seen it. He just doesn't remember.
It's just like this fat guy that is at like an independent wrestling show, and he's like has a microphone for some reason. They're like doing like a Q&A or something.
He's like, thank you for what you did to your
Thank
bodies.
you so much for wrestling. And people always say it's not real, but it's real to me. Damn it!
I've never seen that.
It depends on what mood you're in for it to be either sad or very heartwarming. Yeah,
It's only those two feelings. That's the only
sad or heartwarming.
IMDb score, Internet Movie Database. People.
Let
from,
me give a stab. Go ahead.
Okay. What do you think people from around the world rated Dark Shadows, the 2005 pilot reboot, on a scale from 1 to 10 decimal points in play?
I did not look at it. I only looked at the Wikipedia page when I was doing research on it. God bless it. I want to say 7.2 or like 7 point. My initial thoughts was 7.8, but I'm going to go 7.2.
Blake, I know you cheated. What do you got?
5.6.
It's a 5.5, and that's from 141 ratings. critic reviews. In his book Dark Shadows, Harry M. Benshoff wrote, perhaps the most interesting thing about the pilot was its luridly lit visual design. There you go.
Okay.
One more reminiscent of an Italian horror film by Mario Bava and or Dario Argento than the original series. So they're right there saying this is not what they did in the original series. They made a choice here, and this guy found it interesting, as did I.
Yes.
Yep.
Critic Mark Dawadziak commented at the 2005 Dark Shadows Festival that much of the pilot was lit like a French whorehouse. Thompson praised the cast, in particular Newman and the female performers. So, this was done on purpose. This lighting stuff was done on purpose, and to much applaud.
Yeah.
Lauded by the critics.
The critics, actually.
Viewer reviews.
Haffer?
Martin, oh my God, I wish we had Martin Hafer. I don't think that we do here. We'll see in a moment. Viewer reviews, 2 out of 10 stars. Time to bury the concept. 4 out of 10 stars. Jessica Chastain plus gothic setting equals sold.
Wait, hold on. Time to bury the concept. 4.5 out of 5 stars, and hold on.
2 out of 10 stars for Time to bury the concept.
Okay. I was gonna say. Okay. You're just reading the headlines. I misheard, and I thought that person was saying that.
I'm just reading some of the headlines.
Gotcha.
Next headline is shameful. That's,
oh boy,
that's over 11 years ago at this point. Someone wrote that. 9 out of 10 scars. Someone says Halloween.
Oh, jeez.
I should have highlighted some of these. 10 out of 10 scars. A bloody shame this didn't continue. He says, I've seen far worse on the WB and the CW than this. Not sure why it wasn't picked up. They totally missed the boat on this one. Twilight would start a vampire craze in a few short years after this, and the number one show on the network for years was The Vampire Diaries.
And Supernatural, or what's the Blood? What's the show? Blood?
I don't know.
New Blood. Yeah, was that a CW thing? I think.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I don't know New Blood. What do you want?
I don't know
from
it
me?
either. I don't know.
I'm into old blood.
That's that. What do you want from me? All right.
It's in my blood.
At least the material was treated properly and not as goofy as a Tim Burton movie. All right, that's fine. Yeah.
Tim Burton. He did the thing.
Welcome to FCF.
He did the dub.
Local time
He
is
did the
11:11,
That's true.
and the temperature is
He did the dab. I'm sorry.
Oh.
He did the dab.
My bad.
Blake is dabbing in studio.
until the captain's
This is a Bill Gates-esque.
Did you guys hear that new interview with his ex-wife, Melinda Gates?
No, what'd she say?
She said, what do boats and Bush Light have in common? No, she said she was talking about him like spending time with Epstein.
Oh, she did? Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah, she saw that coming. She took off.
Well, when people like pressed her on the issue, she's like, "You'll have to talk to Bill about that." So kind of throwing him under the bus. But and she was like,
That's good enough.
She's like, I met Jeffrey Epstein once, and I could tell he was evil incarnate. And I'm like,
She said that?
yeah. And I'm kind of like,
Yeah, you probably had drinks.
I'm kind of like,
you were fine.
Fuck you.
You were fine. You know why you thought he was a devil? Because you're a fucking ugly bitch.
No, I think it was just kind of one of those things like your hindsight is 20/20.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
You met him and you were like, oh, this is just a guy. You don't.
He's a rich prick like the rest of them. Oh, wait.
Exactly. Yeah. And she is one.
Oh boy. Landing. It's the end of the show. We've given you all the information we could possibly. We milked everything we can out of this.
We sucked the meat off that bone.
Now we have to give the Dark Shadows a rating. We're going to do so by presenting to you a 1 through 7 scale based on the television program affectionately and accurately known as Wings. We look at all the characters from that television program and we assign them numbers, 1 being the worst score you can get, and that was the character on Wings that we call Roy Biggins. And number 7, that's the best score you can get, and that's the character known as Brian Hackett. Kevmo Slice, we turn to you as our guest. How do you rate Dark Shadows?
I didn't write down a rating because I wanted to have the conversation.
Rating.
I feel like I say that every time. Because
That's fine. There's nothing
because
wrong
I
with that.
want to, because I want to have the conversation and see where you guys are at. And I think we're in a similar spot. I've made the mistake of saying like, oh yeah, 7, when you guys are like, this is a 2.
You don't have to align with us.
I'm not.
We're not moons.
That's the thing is, I didn't know what to think about it until it was over.
Yeah.
Or after it was over. I didn't know what to think about
That's why I tell the girls, just wait till it's over to decide whether you want to or not.
That's right. That's right. He's right. He's right again.
And I'm like, okay, this in my mind initially was a 4, but I think it's a 5 because it has the potential to go on. That's it. I mean, it has the potential to be a series. It's a 5 to me. And I think that's the threshold.
That's good.
I think the threshold for this can go on and be a series is a 5. Like I said before, I'm judging the pilot itself. I would probably go 4. Judging, can this go on to a series? I'm gonna go 5. So that's my answer. 5.
More than fair, Captain Philip. Rest assured, I turn towards you. How do you rate Dark Shadows?
I had some sentimental value a little bit.
All
but-
stemming back from your job
Yes,
there.
no,
and
yes,
this-
and that's
okay.
the only time I ever dealt with anything. But I will always remember the name Barnabas Collin, and I will always remember Alan, and it's because of these things. So that just it was kind of cool. And I always used to like Alan. I did really well with him.
Do you know Alan's still around?
Oh, there's no way I would know. There's no way to. Yeah, no.
You can't look him up?
Do you say there's no way you would know, or there's no way in general? Like, there's no way he's still alive.
There's no way
No,
you
there's
can
no
know.
way I can. He wasn't. He was about the same age as me. So I mean,
Okay.
You can't just call the place and say, "Hey, is
well,
there?"
it's not
a-
open
Alan?
anymore. It hasn't been open in years. So he's been displaced
Okay. Do you know where the displaced people went?
all over or nowhere in the streets.
I know a person who works in social services who just so happens to be my wife. She could probably figure it out.
My wife.
My wife.
No, I don't want the I don't want
You
that
don't want to
time.
go out to lunch with them?
I don't want I don't want that. I don't want that time, that thing to be lost or changed.
Oh, changed. Yeah, altered. That makes perfect sense.
You want
I
your
agree.
memories to be cemented
Yep.
and moved on.
I agree.
I enjoyed this. I think that if the quality of the video would have been better, we each would have
That would have. Yeah, they
enjoyed
bumped
it.
up. All
I
of
liked the color, the contrast. I'm very interested about the story of the David story going forward. I think that's a great thing a new anchor to start with. You know what I mean?
They planted a ton of seeds in
Yeah.
this pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an A, B, and C. There was an A, B, and C story, and which one of them was the A story?
Don't
I don't
know.
know if we'll know.
I'm going to give this a 6. I really enjoyed this.
Wow. Okay.
A 6.
Well, I tell you what, I think I'm kind of in the same boat that Kevin was in. Is this a 4? Is this a 5? Because it is not bad. Like I said, it was devoid of humor, which you could. It doesn't take much. 1 or 2 lines, in a 45-minute show.
Yeah.
Just make me say, oh, okay, this is not all dreadful and sad and spooky. You can still have all that.
Are there jokes in Halloween movies? Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You talk about literally the
Yeah.
film, the Michael Myers Halloween films. Yeah, there's some funny stuff.
Yeah. Sure.
But also,
what about 21 Jump Street?
Oh, there's a ton.
full of them.
Chock full.
But like,
We're not finger popping each other's assholes. That's the funniest thing in any movie.
how about this? My name's Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
That's
That's
about
20. That's 22 jumps.
Yeah, that's about the funniest thing you're gonna
It
find.
is hilarious.
I'm going to give this a 5, I think, as well. This is pretty good. I liked it. I like some of the odd lighting choices, the French whorehouse choices, as it were.
Those were good.
I think there's some good casting stuff going on here. It felt like we got out of the house and into the community a little bit. I felt like we were going to build
Oh, yeah.
this world in this town. I felt like there was something there to make that happen. I always like
Totally.
that. I love it when, like, I never watched Gilmore Girls, but I saw enough of it to where, like, they live in this community, and there are people that are always going to be around, and they might have no lines, and they may be off in the distance. I like it when a program builds a world. I like that.
We live in a society.
Absolutely, we do. Thank you for saying that.
Can I next tell DSJ real quick to see, because he said he was going to give us his rating, and I don't think
Now that we're landed,
You were gonna next tell him?
I still haven't.
Oh.
That's how I get a hold of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
okay. I was going to
'Cause
move
we're
the
in a-
show along, but let's get one last
We're in a
rating.
complete different setting as
We go up and we come down the same place.
Fakakta Airport. What the
FCF
fuck?
network?
FCF network.
Do you not want me to next tell him? I just thought it'd be a good.
Do
Please
it. Call him.
Hey, DSJ, this is Blake. Come in. Doop-doop.
Ba-doop. Yeah, what's going on, Blake?
You're supposed to doop again.
Ba-doop.
Ba-doop. Hey man, we just landed and we were doing our scores. Did you want to give a score for that Dark Shadows pilot? Boop.
Boop. Totally forgot about that already, but yes, I will give my score. I think it's a 5. Boop. Boop.
Thanks, brother. Love you, man. Boop.
Boop. You're welcome. I really appreciate that you love me. Boop.
Wow.
Boop. Hey, buddy, I think it's time in my life where I got to let the people know that I care about, that I love them. Boop.
Boop. Hey, sorry, man, I'm just kind of busy. If you want to have a full phone call, just let me know. Boop.
Boop. Thanks. All right, buddy. Have a good night. Boop.
Boop. Yes, stay out. Boop.
Whoa. He's got more. You got more, Blake?
No, obviously he's busy. I mean, I'm sure that
Sounded-
bamboo probably came in tonight. So,
For the tiki
and
bar?
yeah.
or at least the cups. He's probably washing them all and
It is
turning them
cup
upside.
season, so yeah, they should be in.
Is it still cup season?
No, cup season's over.
Nah, it's
Wow.
But I tell
it's
you
like
what,
11 and a half months of the year.
Yeah.
that's true.
11 and a half.
And with that, we close the book on Dark Shadows, and we shall never speak of it again. But join us next time, won't you please, when we begin our unprecedented 34th season and watch the pilot episode of Escape. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. A scientist's experiment could lead to the first man-made functioning living organism. An elite escape artist, private investigator, is working to stop him. You can find the entire episode of Escape by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, DSJ, bloop,
Boop. And search up Rupert Holmes. Boop. Escape.
yeah, Escape.
That was funny.
what was?
You said the pilot is called Escape,
Yeah.
and DSJ said Rupert Holmes.
Who's Rupert Holmes?
If you like pina coladas. He wrote the song called Escape.
That song's called
It's
Escape.
called Escape. What am I dealing with, crazy people?
Well, I mean,
You guys in the...
Blake clearly. Me, it's the jury's out on.
Borderline. You want
Look
to
it
go
up.
through contact information real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
There's going to be a new post on Instagram that has been posted.
no, don't say that.
That has been posted.
No, I don't like that.
A couple weeks ago at this point.
Nope, I don't like it.
3-4 weeks ago at this point. There's going to be a new post.
We don't post on Instagram.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
We go to couchpilots.podcast.com. It's a website. It has all of our past episodes, over 330 at this point. It's an insane thing.
It's got
to
3
think.
comments.
What does?
Our latest post.
All right, go ahead.
I posted today.
Oh, nice. Well,
And it has 1 comment.
the best part about the Couch Pilots website is the search feature.
Yeah,
I have to say. If you want to say, hey, guys, watch this pilot, do yourself a favor, go on the Couch Pilots website
Right.
and use the search feature, and it has more than likely already been discussed. So your recommendation is void.
And I will say this: the website is a one-stop shop.
For sure, you can listen to all the episodes. Also, if you're a fan of Spotify, put us on a playlist of yours or whatever, and or try you can promote it that way. But you can have every episode on Spotify as well.
And just to double down, we do support Joe Rogan.
Rogan.
We're rogue for Jogan.
We are rogue for Joe.
Or Rogue for Jogan. Maybe I don't know.
I can say we when I'm talking about the show, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's
I
canon.
I co-hosted the podcast for a
Sure.
little bit.
You flew a plane once in a while.
I flew a plane for a
That's-
season.
I'm a man
on a plane.
We created our own scoring system then,
Yeah, it was based on Cheers, right?
but you called it Chairs, based off of the Nick Kroll version of Cheers.
Cheers.
Pretty good. Pretty good
That
stuff.
was a year ago, at least.
It was
It was in the winter, and it was at my
end
house.
of 20.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
End
at
of
least.
20,
A
yeah.
year and a couple months.
Blake is really on his phone here.
What? He's trying to get the contact information.
No, that's not the kind. I'm just waiting for my next part.
Oh, well, you can also dial into the Couch Pilots.
No, you can't. You cannot call the number anymore.
Where does it go?
Well, here's the thing. 2 weeks ago, Blake
Where does it go?
Blake was like, "It's been canceled, but don't worry, I'm going to fix it." And I said right then and there, you're not going to do anything ever. And 2 weeks later, I'm right.
I paid for the website today, so it can go for another year.
Right, but did you work on the phone number?
No.
Okay.
Well,
So
if
I was too busy making an Instagram post.
at this point, when this episode comes out, it will be resolved. The number to dial into is 1-910-PILOTS-1, and that is 745-6871. I haven't listened to an episode of Couch Pilots in a while, if I'm going to be honest with you,
thank you for your honesty.
and that is way in my brain.
yeah,
But it's
there.
in neither of yours, because you get to read it off of a piece of paper.
Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Great. You've
Damn
confirmed you
it.
haven't done anything with it. Thank you.
It's like a Google Voice thing,
And
right?
so
Yeah.
I'm not even mad that Blake doesn't do anything. The thing is like Blake announces he's going to do something with it, and then he does it, and that's where I have
But I
to,
did the Instagram post.
we should do the dub instead. That's where I have to like call him out though, is when he says he's going to do it, and I support him. I say yes, absolutely, you should do it, and then you do nothing.
You'll figure it out. I'll remind you.
I feel as though I do make effort.
Yes, you do. Nobody's arguing with you.
He's
about how you
arguing
don't
with me about it. He just says I don't do
making
anything.
effort.
Not you don't do nothing.
I
You
open
don't-
my home to my
You
friends.
don't do nothing.
You got,
That's a double negative.
By the way, you have to move out of the HQ. You can't sleep on the couch here anymore. Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah, go to podcast on whatever podcast app you want to listen to, and search Drunken Lullabies, because that's the feed that a new show is on. And then also search the Sixer podcast, which I'll have probably 2 or 3 new episodes by the time this comes out.
When's the next one come out? You just recorded one.
I recorded one, and I'm like I said, I am on a bender of just doing things every day, all night for the next for the past week. So I'm gonna probably get that on the books this weekend, hopefully.
The old release schedule was Thursdays,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Okay.
I could get it done by Thursday. I might.
do it next Thursday.
Yeah, I'll get it for next Thursday for sure. But yeah, this weekend I got a couple shits going on, but at nighttime I don't think I have anything. I don't know.
Hey,
nighttime.
Good luck on your wedding that you're DJing tomorrow.
I'm DJing a wedding on a Tuesday. I will let you know how it was, everybody.
Sounds good.
Blake, this season, and this will be the last one this season. You're telling people this is what's going in Blake Clayton's head. These are the podcasts that I listen to. What is your last recommendation for this season?
Real quick, I have capped off a couple seasons, and I'm very thankful for that. I've been an episode 10 guy like 3 or 4 times.
Have you really?
Do
Yeah.
you need to buy him a jacket, like a smoker's
Yeah, give me a-
jacket?
Like an
Give me-
SNL Five Timers Club
Yeah,
kind
give
of
me
thing?
a smoker's jacket.
Okay.
I'm also wearing my glasses today. You guys even realize that I'm wearing my
Yeah.
like work glasses? These are my home glasses, Glake. These are my new home. I called you Glake. These are my home glasses, Glake.
I didn't know that they're your home glasses. I didn't.
No, I thought they were your away ones. Well, I can tell because they're not as dark.
You have a lot of head accessories right now.
Yeah, I do. I got cranial accessories.
This guy gets it.
Yeah. Hedberg.
Mitch.
What are you listening to?
Man, the last one, which one do I pick?
Take your time.
I also forget which ones I've done.
Right.
Have I did the neighborhood listen? Because
Yes.
I did.
Why-
Okay.
how-
Okay. I listen to a lot. Morbid. It's a true crime podcast. Morbid. And right now, as of today, they're doing a 4-part series on Albert Fish, which is the most despicable, disgusting person in the whole world.
Can I tell you? I seriously know a little bit about Albert Fish. Can I tell you about him?
Yeah.
So Albert Fish was he was a white guy, and what Albert Fish would do is he would take children, and he would kidnap them, and he would scare the life out of these kids. He would take them and he would eat them. He would eat these children, and he said that the screams would make their rump, which you would say was the most toothsome part of the child. It would make them even more delicious. They would when later he was caught, they would say Albert Fish appeared to be gray in demeanor, and so he had adopted the nickname the Gray Man.
Yeah.
And he would take these children and he would eat them, and a lot of times they would be alive. I tell you, this guy was a real jerk.
No. He didn't eat a bunch of children. He did not eat a bunch of children. So he allegedly only ate one. But I'm just, and he didn't. It wasn't just taking kids. He did do that, but he was also a self-masochist, kind of, like he would
Kill himself?
No,
every once in a
he
while?
would. He was into pain and he was into hurting.
He would like
himself.
stick boiling hot needles in his rectum and stuff.
Yeah. He took a towel, lit it, had alcohol on it, rubbing alcohol, and lit it on fire, and it showed up his asshole.
Yeah.
But he's a real sicko. But these girls are.
You telling me he tossed his own bagel?
He burned it actually.
He was the Mark Summers.
He burned the
towels.
bagel. Morbid is another true crime podcast. The girls are really good. They're very detailed. They're very yeah. So check it out.
I like less bid, but more bid I can get into.
I'm fair to Midland bid. Kevin, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you again.
This pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone. We shall see you next time.
Later.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
Do